Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are so back. Welcome to the Game Week 1 deadline stream, and I'm stood up. I don't know why I felt the need to say that. It's like I'll try not to bounce around too much, but I am stood up, so I look a little bit less stable. Not mentally, by the way. Mentally, I'm very stable. Is that true? Anyway, if I look physically less stable, it's because I'm stood up. I think I'll bounce back and forth between being stood up and seated. Basically, I think this will just keep my energy high, you know? I can sort of dart around. It makes me feel like I'm ready to fight some people. This has been a terrible start. I've basically offered to fight you and then said that I'm mentally unstable. But welcome to the deadline stream. This is what it's all about. Thank you for being here. To the almost 1,000 people already tuned in. What legends. Oh my God. Guys, I would love to... I would love nothing more than to, stand here and tell you that I am ready for Game Week 1. I love my team. It looks fantastic. I'm locked in. I am not. Now, I do have somewhat of a reputation for falling apart on deadline streams and changing my entire team and strategy. So can I say one thing to you all, please? Please, don't let me fall apart and change my strategy. Give me words of wisdom, make me feel confident in what I'm doing, and together we can achieve anything. So that's my motivational speech over. But good to see so many people in the chat. FPL Harry, what an absolute legend. Thank you for being here, sir. I've already seen my mum and my nan. And by the way, it is the first year of my mum playing FPL. My mum has watched my content, like every video since I started on YouTube, but she's never actually played. And she messages me every weekend, like, this person scored, this person hit DEFCON. And I'm like, Mum, just make an FPL team. So my mum has officially made an FPL team this year. And of course, Nana Raptor is going to be back with a bang. Like, this is a serious FPL manager. And if you're wondering who Nana Raptor is, it is quite literally my nan, who is just brilliant at FPL. Which is amazing. But thank you to everyone else. I can see FPL Cats in the chat. Good to see you as always. Lots of the members, of course, Zodiac. And I've already seen that 5 people have become members too in the last day, which is amazing. So if you do want to become a member, feel free to do so. It's going to be a crazy stream though. So kick back and relax. We've got 2.5 hours till the deadline. I wanted to set off early so that I have plenty of time to answer all of your questions. In terms of my own team, very briefly before I go ahead and obviously answer your questions, I joke, but I am feeling quite settled. Like, for me right now, if I'm to say where I could possibly change this, if you see in the top left-hand corner of the screen, I've got possible changes. It's basically Zolis and Sangare. I am tempted to do to Shada and Lafi. So rather than have a 6.5 and a 5.5, I'm tempted to get 2 6s in there. Like, Shada and Lafi arguably do have higher upside than Solis and Sangare. I then thought about Rodon and Sangare to Muhramovic and Gomez to essentially get a 5 million midfielder in there, but allow me to go and get Muhramovic, or Maguire and Sangare to Aya and Shada. So in the top left, you can see those. Those are basically the combinations that I'm thinking. Outside of that, I would be surprised if I do change my team drastically. I love Enzo Lafi. As someone said, the Enzo Lafi addiction may return. I do love Enzo Lafi. Your co-founders are here too. Hey, My Sports Picks in the chat. Good to see you. Good to see you. Is FPL Pickle in the chat? He didn't even pretend to have a girlfriend this time. Wait, what? What did I miss? Who's pretending to have a girlfriend? More people made up. Oh, I see. Yeah. I remember when Stormzy joined Twitter. I remember when Pickle joined Twitter. And I remember when my nan was on Twitter, but also playing FPL. And people basically thought that I'd made up an account for Stormzy. I'd made up an account for my girlfriend. And I actually thought that I'd made up my girlfriend. And that I'd made up that my nan plays FPL. Someone thought I had the time to run all of these separate accounts and pretend that I had loads of friends and people playing FPL. It was the funniest time of my life. It was hilarious. But yeah, people are strange online. Let's just say that. Right, let me get to answering your questions. A big super... What was that? Goodness me, Pickle just made a loud noise. A big super chat from Rich Hill, early doors, says 0 in the bank, bench boost game week 2. Raya, Gabriel, Vuskovic, Ballard, Anderson and Burmo, Solis, Sangare, forward line of Haaland, João Pedro, Thiago. Wow. Goalkeepers, Kinski, Muhramovic, Van Uwijk, Sakamoto. Okay, Sakamoto's an interesting one. Wishing you, your family and friends peace, good health and happiness. Thank you so much, Rich. What a team. I was looking at that defence and saying, well, he's gone without Erling Haaland. You've got that defence, but you've got Haaland. I guess you've lost Bruno Fernandes, but... I'll tell you what, Rich. Great team. I'm not gonna say a single player that you need to change there, mate. That's a really, really nice team. And I like the bench boost 2 strategy. Are you using bench boost? Yes, bench boost is active. I know the bloody FPL site isn't very obvious, but you see this here. When it's lit up, it's blue. Sorry, when it's when you're bench boosting, it's lit up blue. But yeah, the bench boost, as you can see here, it is active. What do you think of the new stream setup, by the way? Hopefully you like it. Got predicted points and captaincy ranking above my head. Bottom left, we've got fixtures for the next 5. I know it's a bit small. Could work on that. And also predictions, and then just other stuff in the top left. But, yeah, worked on a new stream setup for this year, so hopefully it runs smoothly and you guys enjoy it. Mr. Unknown says, Verts, Maguire, and Muharemovic. Okay, all I'm going to get on this stream is combinations, so I need to lock in. Verts, Maguire, Muharemovic, or Semenyo, Rodon, Shaw. Ooh. Ooh, wow. I think, considering there's not a humongous gap between Verts and Semenyo, but I really like Maguire and Muharemovic, I think I would go for Verts, Maguire, and Muharemovic, Mr. Unknown. And thank you for the support as well. Thoughts on Declan Rice? Will he start? I would lean towards saying yes because Bruno G's are out. But if Bruno G's fit, I'd say no. I just don't think Declan Rice is a great FPL asset anyway. I'd rather go for Solis or Erdegaard, if I'm being truthful in terms of an Arsenal attacker. Thank you for all the kind words, by the way. People seem to like the new stream setup. I also have just gone back to like my colour scheme is like this orange-grey, but I always try and go to the FPL colours to try and fit in. But I just thought, do you know what? It can be a unique setup. There's a lot of orange going on and grey and stuff, but that is true to the original FPL Raptor logo, you know? So at least it's slightly unique. Zlit3R says, hello, got Haaland and João Pedro, currently tinkering with Foden, Gvardiol and Pedro. Is it too much risk? I don't fancy any of those particularly. I like Haaland and João Pedro. Don't think Foden, Gvardiol, Palmer, I desperately want to squeeze him right now. If I was to say one, I still think Phil Foden's being underrated. He's going to start for City. He's got great upside. Just because he wasn't fantastic in the Community Shield, I think a lot of people have gone off of him. But yeah, I think he's still a really nice pick at 7 million. I can't believe we're back, by the way. Thank you so much for all the support in pre-season on the content. If you are new to the channel and this is the first thing you've seen of mine, make sure you subscribe. And also, there are now 3,000 people watching, which is amazing, but only 170 likes. So if you're one of the 2,700 plus people that haven't liked the stream, I would really, really appreciate you watching. Not watching, subscribing. Goodness me. Liking. I got there in the end. Leave me alone. Thomas says, wow, 1 year already. 1 year indeed. And you got the silver badge, I think, after 12 months, if I'm right in saying. So thank you for being a member for a year. That's crazy. So you must have become a member then at the start of last season, which is pretty cool. Dan says, good to be back, Ross. Good to be back as well, Dan. Enjoying Zolis or Sobersline Gross? Oh, wow. Strategy is bench boost 2, free hit 3, wildcard 4. I think on bench boost 2, I would lean towards Enjoying Solace, Dan. Izzy Gaming says, my little baldy, here I am. I've got your team. Free hit 3, any ideas? It's a great team. So you've gone without Haaland. You'll free hit him in for game week 3. You need a 6 million midfielder. Is that Bruno Bermo Palmer Verts? No, what is the 6 million? Oh, 6 million forward. Yeah. Probably Brobby. I think it's, yeah, you need a 6 million forward, you're saying, yeah. Probably Brobby. Rest of the team looks amazing. Like, look at that midfield. Bruno Bermo, Palmer, Verts, Solis, Thiago, DCL. Yeah, I really like it. I mean, I still think João Pedro is unbelievable. He's one of the only players that I really wouldn't even be considering going without. A couple of people said I missed their super chats. I'm just slightly behind. I do apologise. I'm trying to bounce between everything, but I don't think I've missed any, so I will be on there very, very soon. Muharemovic and Sangare versus Aya and Njaya. Oh, wow. Muharemovic and Sangare just about for me, David, but that is a very, very... Like, all of these combos are super, super close. Astro Travelling says, we are so back. We are so back. Bench boost 1 Verbruggen and De Kuyper versus bench boost 2 Rushworth and Hume. I honestly might arguably prefer Rushworth and Hume there. Should rotate to wildcard 6 with either. Thoughts about, and what about Konsa instead for bench boost 2? I don't think Ezri Konsa will start the first few games. I've had a lot of questions about Ezri Konsa. I would just be avoiding altogether. Do you think Gomez from Brighton will start? I am 75 to 80% sure that Gomez will start, yes. But I can't promise you that. I can't promise you that at all. That's just my gut feeling. I think he's so important. Like, if he wasn't good enough to be starting, not good enough, like fit enough to be starting, then he wouldn't have started in the Europa Conference League playoff, would he? So the fact that he started that, I think, is a real boost if you wanted to go with him. Gross and Lafite or Gomez and Solis? Thanks, bro. Gross and Lafite or Gomez and Solis? I honestly think Gross and Lafite. Yeah, arguably Gross and Lafite is a better balance. I really like Solis, though. Like, even if you want a player in the game tonight against Coventry, I understand it. Frederick has been a member for 38 months. You should do the whole stream with your hat off for some good luck. I have done, like, back in the day, I didn't even used to wear a hat on my streams. But, yeah, you can go back and watch some old streams. I've got my big bald head out. I don't plan on doing that anytime soon. Also, Game Week 38 last year, I wear a suit. If you are new to the channel, every year in Game Week 38, I deadline stream with a suit on. So I have had the egg out relatively recently, you know, for a stream. Will, thank you for being a member for 25 months. Says, we back Ross. No Haaland team with JP as my other forward. My conundrum is Isak, KDH and Lafite versus DCL, Semenyo, Soboslai. Wow. Wow. DCL, Semenyo, Soboslai for me. Or Thiago Sobo versus Isak and Lafite. Oh, wow. Okay. So you can go Thiago. I think DCL, Semenyo, Soboslai. Would be my go-to there. Jonathango says, bench boost 1, wildcard 6, 0.5 in the bank. Sharda to Dango, Gomez to Gross, Muhremovic to Gvardiol, or save. Gomez to Gross is the one that stands out. I think either Gomez to Gross or save the money. I don't think the other two are necessarily worth the 0.5. It's so good to be back. It's so good to be back. In like 30-degree heat as well. Oh, honestly, the Game Week 38 stream in a full-blown suit is always so hot. I'm hot now, and it's only like 23 degrees. Oh, it's 19 degrees, apparently. It feels hotter than that in here. It certainly, I can tell you that much for free. Should I do a captaincy poll? Game Week 1. Did you just see me try for about 10 seconds to remember what game week it is? That's not a good sign for my mental state. Let's be truthful. I should not be in charge of my FPL team right now. Haaland against Bournemouth. I was literally like, what game week is it? Fernandez against Hull. And then I'll go... I actually think Mbeumo will be more popular than Gabriel. But I'll put Mbeumo as the third option. I haven't seen many people actually having. Right, there is a poll in the chat right this second. Right this second. Go vote on it. We've also had... Shazam has been a member for 36 months. Wow, 3-year anniversary. The time has flown. Keep up the great work, Ross. Great person and great streamer. Glad we are back. Thank you so much, Shazam. I really, really appreciate that. You're an absolute legend. I think I also saw... Have I missed it? I'm sure there was a super chat from you, wasn't there? Maybe I've just mislocated it. I thought there was. Maybe I'm... Oh, there it is. It went missing. Good to be back, Ross. Loving the new graphics. Very nice. Thanks for the help with the team earlier. O'Shea and Foden, I'm not sure about. Any options? Nothing in the bank. Good luck with the season. Firstly, thank you again so much for the support, Shazam. You've already got Soboslai from memory. O'Shea's fine. I think for formalin, you're good there. You could go like Dango Ouattara and then upgrade O'Shea to like Aya. I actually really like Brentford for the start of the season. I can't remember if you had Rodon. So maybe Foden down to Dango Ouattara and then you're formalin up to a 4.5. Or just down to a 6, like Sharda, Enzo Lafite, Iliman Ndiaye. I wouldn't mind downgrading Foden to upgrade O'Shea, Shazam. Bolivian Navy, by the way. So sorry, I've just seen that huge super chat. What an absolute legend. Says, oh, Oh, I've lost it. Why is one? I work this team 10 different ways. Let me know what you think. Lammens Verbruggen, good rotation. Actually, in fact, I think Lammens and Verbruggen's probably the best goalkeeper rotation. Gabriel, Calafiori, Nico O'Reilly, Aya, Muhremovic, Bruno, Solis, Mbermo, Soboslai and Jai, Thiago, JP, DCL. Is Raya, Semenyo, Maguire better than Lammens, O'Reilly, Solis? I actually think it might be. Yeah, I think it probably is Bolivian Navy. I think I probably do prefer Raya, Semenyo, Maguire. It's probably better for minutes. Like Nico O'Reilly and Solis, maybe slightly more rotation risk early doors. Yes, I had Rodon. Cheers, mate. Yeah, so maybe Aya then. Maybe Dango and Aya or something like that. But I don't mind switching around in that way, Shazam. Do you prefer Aya or Rodon? It's a good question. I think they're both fantastic. It depends on the rotations in your team. How much do you want a Leeds defender? Because I think Leeds will be really good this year. I think both of them are pretty playable. You could make an argument that Aya is better than Rodon, for sure. OGG FPL says, hi Ross, you're doing amazing in life. Or hope you're doing amazing in life. Thank you. I thought you were just saying I am. I'm like, thanks, I'll take it. No, I am doing well, thank you. You motivated me to start a YouTube channel and I've started making FPL content. Thanks a lot for inspiring. Can I go to your channel from here? Go to channel. I've opened it up. Old Gold Grails, OGG FPL. What a legend. I've not checked out your content yet, but I'll put it in the chat. If anyone wants to go support someone that has just started making YouTube content, looks pretty cool. I'll put the link in the chat. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you for the kind words as well. I hope you're doing well too. And congrats, by the way. Like, it takes a lot of, I don't know, like, bravery, I think, to start a channel. Like, as well, when you know, like, in the scene like this, it could be seen by quite a few people. Like, that's very impressive stuff. So I hope it goes well for you. FPL Fishers, good luck for this season, Ross. Thank you, Mr. Fish. I appreciate it. Do you want to come say hello?
No, I'm okay.
Okay. Hello. Mbermo and Rodon or Verts and Muharemovic? Mbermo and Rodon. ISO Magic. Thank you for being a Rap Tier 2 member. And I've just seen a ridiculous super chat coming from Tafen Official. Tafen, what a legend. I hope you're doing well, mate, and I hope you have a good season ahead. It says Muharemovic and Gross or Rodon and Njai? Oh. Muharemovic and Gross or Rodon and Njai? I think, oh, wow. I'm going to say Muharemovic and Gross by the smallest margin, Tafen. That's basically a 50-50. Like, truly, that's about as close as a decision can get, Tafen. So if you prefer the other direction, go the other direction. Like, that's very close. And thank you so much for the support. How to by Sarge has been a member for 13 months. Says, it's my year to come first in the world. Would you bring in Conser after the deadline for Arsenal? Out of one, Hinshelwood, KDH, and Jai, Gross, Gomez. Good luck all. I wouldn't bother with Conser for now. I think let's just leave it and let's just wait and see. Hinshelwood, KDH, and Jai, Gross, Gomez. I've got a personal bias towards Hinshelwood, but if I'm being completely objective, I think Iliman and Jai is probably the best option from those. João Pedro Schade or Thiago Gross? Many thanks. João Pedro Schade or Thiago? Oh, definitely João Pedro Schade for me. I actually feel pretty strongly on that one. I prefer João Pedro and Schade. Hi, Ross. Huge fan. Thank you very much. Thoughts on Van Hecker? Yeah, Van Hecker's interesting. I think Van Hecker will be one of the best 5 million defenders this season. Like, genuinely. I think Van Hecker will be outstanding. I don't know that you have to go there early doors, but if you want to, I can see him doing very well. Thoughts on Lafitte and Verts versus Solis and Soboslai? So you got the Susus. Lafitte and Verts, Solis, Soboslai. That's a tough one. Probably Solis and Soboslai. Bench boost Gameweek 1. Gabriel, Bruno, Haaland in. Template forwards and United. Leeds, Brighton defender rotation. Sounds great, Richard. Debating Njai versus Schade and Solis versus Erdegaard. I don't know how you managed to afford that, Richard, but I love it. I like Schade and Solis, personally, if you want my opinion on my favourite two there. Hunkster says, hi, all right, Ross, new member and fellow Man United fan. Thank you very much for being a member, and congratulations on being a Man United fan. Lammens, VVD, Calafiori, Ballard, Mbermo, Verts, Bruno. Of course, you've got triple United, Hunkster. Hinshelwood, Semenyo, JP, DCL, Bencher for Bruggen, Thiago, Muhremovic, Vuskovic, no Haaland. I love it. My only marginal concern, and I don't want to put you off him as a pick because if he starts, he's great. I don't know about Vuskovic. Like, there's no guarantee that Vuskovic starts. And then if he doesn't and he doesn't play any minutes, that's a bit of a disaster. Like, I think you could look at some other players rather than Vuskovic. Like, could you instead go Maguire and then another goalkeeper instead of Lamans? Like Roofs and Maguire or something like that, potentially. Give us some late drama, Raptor. Go no Haaland. Nah, I'm pretty keen on having Erling Haaland. There are a lot... Basically, every model and algorithm right now is promoting no Haaland. So I think if you're an algorithm model-based manager, if you like plugging your team in and it telling you different combinations and stuff, then you're going to look at Haaland as being... No Haaland as being worthwhile. And it makes sense, right? Because if... Let's say you don't think Haaland's the best captain. Like, I'm captaining Fernandes this week, right? If I'm not captaining Haaland this week, surely there is a better spread of funds than 15.5 million. I just keep building no Haaland teams, and I'm like, they're better overall outside of no Haaland, but they're not that much better. Like, for me to drop Erling Haaland, I would need my no Haaland team to look drastically better than it does. And for me, I'm just not there. Why not a second Arsenal defender? Well, that is a funds thing, right? How do I get one in? I'd have to find 0.5 from somewhere, and I'm already very tight all over the squad. Like, I've not got much money. Are you going to bench boost Gameweek 1? Yes, bench boost is indeed active. Ross, welcome back. Thank you, Flapjack. 35 months. Would you go without Kinski, Cavo, and Ballard? Oh, sorry. Would you go with Kinski, Cavo, Ballard, or Lamans, Van Hecker, Ayer? Oh, wow, that's tough. Can I actually recommend one to you that will save you 0.5 million, Flapjack? What about Kinski, Ayer, Ballard? And save 0.5 million and use it elsewhere. I like Kinski, Ayer, Ballard. If you actually want me to pick one of these, though, it's probably Lamans, Jean-Paul, Van Hecker, and Ayard. Ayard? I probably prefer the second combo. Dan says, great to be back, Ross. Great to be back as well, Dan. Bench boost 1, A, B, or C? A, Calafiori, Semenyo, DCL. B, Calafiori, Sharda, Thiago. Oh, I love that. Gabriel, Sharda, DCL. Oh, wow. Dan, Gabriel Sharda DC. I'll go CBA. CBA. Can't be asked. I just heard Pickle laugh from the living room as I said CBA. CBA, Dan. And I'm not talking about your comment. I'm talking about what I'm telling you to do. Thoughts on my team. Raya Gabriel. I'm reading your message, by the way, Mason, right now. Thoughts on my team. Raya Gabriel, VVD, Guardiola, Semenyo, Bruno, Saka, Mbeumo, Haaland, Isaac, João Pedro. Bench of Lamans, Palmer, O'Reilly, Porro. Unreal. Yeah, lovely team. There's some really nice, unique picks in there. My slight concern, Porro, very limited preseason minutes. Same with O'Reilly. Palmer, I'm still not fully there on right now. Wait, can't afford that team. That's when you know I've zoned out and I'm not, like, that team is about, let me actually work out. That team's probably 25 million over budget. I was looking at that going, wow, how have you got that team? And then as I'm reading through, I'm like, yeah, maybe even more. That team could be like 40 million over budget, Mason. You almost snuck it past me, to be honest. Rob T projections just dropped. Check the Arsenal clean sheet odds. Okay. Oh, they're lower, aren't they? Yeah, I think they've dropped marginally. They were 59%. So why is that? That to be fair, 5%'s not an incredible drop-off. Man United still the second most likely to keep it clean. Okay, it's not crazy, but yeah, something to consider. I mean, as we get closer to the deadline, we'll see if we get any team news, early team news, which we might do. We might do. Back to answering your questions. I am very behind on the super chats. Do apologise. Thoughts on Ødegaard over Solis? Don't mind it. I just prefer Solis slightly. But I don't think Ødegaard's a bad pick. And if you told me you were going Ødegaard instead, I'd be perfectly fine with it. Is Szoboszlai that much better than Rodgers? Ownership is mental. He's just minutes are a bit safer. He'll share penalties with Isak when Isak's not on the pitch. Take set pieces. Probably better for DEFCON. Fixtures are better. I actually think Rodgers is a very nice pick. And Szoboszlai, for me, I'm not interested right now. I think he could do well, but he's also just not a major goal threat. And I want my players to have more goal threat. So if you fancy Rodgers, I don't mind it. David said, could also do White to Muhramovic and Njai to Dango. Already have Calafiori. White to Muha and Njai to Dango. See, personal preference, Muhramovic and Dango is an unbelievable pairing, David. Like, they're two players that I'd love to have. But I think White and Njai, arguably on paper, is slightly more solid. But yeah, I like Muhramovic and Dango. C. Jake says, hi Ross, we're back. No Haaland team. I'm stuck between Gabriel Ballard and a 4.5 for the bench, or O'Reilly, Calafiori, and Muggs. Who's Muggs? I don't know who Muggs is. Anyway, Gabriel Ballard and a 4.5, I think sounds good. Gabriel Ballard and Rodon, or Gabriel Ballard and Aya. I think if I was going no Haaland, I'd have to have Gabriel in the team. You could even captain Gabriel if you're going without Haaland, to be honest. Hi, Ross. I'm on bench boost 2. Which do you prefer? Human Lafi. Well, I do like that. Ballard and Xhaka Sangare. 3 White and Santos. I think just about Ballard and Sangare would just about be my option, Jandra. I like that's very, very close, though. Gabriel Njai Thiago or O'Reilly Solis Isak? Gabriel Njai Thiago. No bench boost. Rodon and Mbermo or Wirtz and Muhramovic? Rodon and Mbermo for me. Love your vids. Are 1 Yenny good for bench boost too? I think so, but like there's no guarantee he starts that game, but it might be worth the risk. Yesler says, hello mate, hope you're well. Szoboszlai and Gomez to Dango and Dewsbury Hall and Sangare, or 2 6 million mids like Sharda and Lafi. I'm going with that exact same debate in my mind of Solis and Sangare, or like Sharda and Lafi myself. Like if you look top left of the screen, I've got that exact debate. I think arguably on paper, the 2 6 millions is stronger. It is arguably on paper a better combination. I just really want Solis, I think. So I probably won't end up doing it. Danny B, sorry for the delay in getting to your message, mate. Hi, Ross. I have a front 3 of Isak, Thiago, and João Pedro. Great. Should I downgrade one of these to improve my current defense of Ballard, Maguire, Rodon, Van Uwijk, and Davis? Yes. Yeah, you probably should, Danny. I think so. Yeah, I mean, you've gone without Haaland and you've got a weak defense with no Arsenal. I think I would get Isak down to Calvert-Lewin and use that 3 million to get Van Uwijk and Davis up. Or at least Davis. Like, you can keep Van Uwijk on bench boost 2. Bench boost 2 with Van Uwijk's fine. Leif Davis isn't a player I'd necessarily want to carry forward. So, yeah, I think I would use that money. Famil Gen Weird. I probably butchered that. Sorry. This is easily the best time of the season. Hope is alive and confidence is sky high. After the weekend, it's back to business as usual. Why did I drop him? He was in my team this morning for crying out loud. Oh, I'm so glad you've sent that super chat. Personally, thank you very much. But you have to remember that at some point in pre-season, you have owned everyone. Like, if you've tinkered with your team throughout pre-season, you've had every single player you could possibly imagine and more. So there will be players that you've had that you're going to miss out on. Like, it's just part and parcel of it. So please don't feel like, oh, I should have done this different. I've done, like, it's so difficult to get everything. I've not missed any super chats, I don't think. I'm just a little bit behind, but I will get through them, as always, for those that are worrying. I think I've got all of them done. I should probably run a poll about bench boost in a second after captaincy. I'll let the captaincy poll breathe for a second, and then I'll go back. Mbermo, Shaw, Hume, or Szoboszlai, Maguire, Ballard? Probably Szoboszlai, Maguire, Ballard. I think Ballard and Maguire are huge upgrades on Shaw and Hume. I love Brian Mbermo, but if that is the literal debate in your mind, then the answer's clear for me. Gabriel Hinshelwood and Njai versus White, Rodgers, Foden. Gabriel Hinshelwood and Njai for me. Wirtz and Shaw or Harry and Gakpo, you cute egg. Thank you, Matthew. I don't know about Gakpo. I'd go Wirtz and Shaw. Wirtz and Shaw, just. Yeah, if it was Maguire and Szoboszlai or Wirtz and Shaw, I'd probably go Maguire and Szoboszlai. Ben says, when panic stations hit, remember to do what is most fun. You've made your strat for a reason. I've just qualified as a teacher. At my new school, I'm going to start an FPL club. We'll be playing your videos. Mate, that's amazing. Drop me a message when you get that set up. That'd be awesome. Let me know what country, what part of the country you're in as well, if you're from the UK. Anyway, yes, I agree. Well, like, this is the thing, guys. Like, you've been building towards this moment for a while. Like, I made a joke that I don't want to panic and get carried away as we approach the deadline, but we have been on this strat and structure for a while. Unless you've been changing every single day, you should probably be feeling fairly set with what you've got. Abhishek says, why do you think Bench Boost 1 is more popular? Is it because double Coventry? Also, for Bench Boost 1, how much percentage risk would you say 09 is? I'd say 09 is a pretty big risk going into Game Week 1. The reason Game Week 1 is more popular is just because, like, it's right in front of you. Like, if in Game Week 1 and Burmo, Solis and Ballard all got injured, well, then I'd be screwed for Game Week 2. So it's less of a risk bench boosting straight from the... Now, the flip side is often crazy things happen in Game Week 1. It could be that one of these players is injured and I just don't know about it, but you could make that argument for any week. Irfan says, hi Ross, thoughts on this team? Raya, Verbruggen, Gabriel, Muhramovic, Maguire, Ballard, Wirtz and Burmo, Sharda, Njaya, JP, DCL, Sangare, Ballard. Don't know what else to add. Great team. Irfan, I'm not even going to comment on it. It's great. There's not a single bad pick in there. It's not a single player that I have an issue with. Bolivian Navy has been a member for 13 months. Considering that strategy is bench boost 1 wildcard 3, likely is Semenyo, Maguire, Ryan not too passive. I mean, a Maguire bullet header and a Semenyo goal, not necessarily. I just worry about Nico Riley's minutes early doors, Bolivian Navy. I think that was what your combo was, right? Also, is Ira Muhramovic a good bench boost 1, or should I do Ballard and Rodon? If you want to be more aggressive, Ballard is a really high upside aggressive pick. And especially if you're wildcarding 3, I think I'd go for Ballard and Rodon. MXX says, happy deadline all and hello to my favourite egg. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Please help with my dilemma. Shaw and Gross or Maguire and Gomez? Oh, that's tough. Higher upside is definitely there with Maguire and Gomez. I think I'd go Maguire Gomez there. Palmer, Semenyo, Hinshelwood or Bruno Gross Solis? Palmer, Semenyo, Hinshelwood. Bruno Gross Solis. I think it's Bruno Gross Solis. Manantak Sali. Just butchered your name, I do apologise. Why Maguire over Shaw? Shaw last season started every game and finished on like less than 100 points. Like Luke Shaw doesn't have attacking threat or DEFCON potential, so you absolutely need the super chats at that stage. I've just read your message, Manantakasali. I butchered your name, but I definitely read your message. Just them. Nick says, Gabriel and Lafille versus White and Semenyo. Give me 1 and 2 only. Gabriel and Lafille versus White and Semenyo. Gabriel and Lafille, just give me 1 and 2 only. Nah, maybe Ben White then. Just give me 1 and 2. But Lafille's got great fixtures. I'd go Gabriel and Lafille, just about. Njai or Sharda? I think Sharda's got a higher ceiling. I think Njai's got more routes to points. I think Sharda has a higher upside. I would say that much. But I think Njai's also decent. So I would go Kevin Sharda if it was me right now. Kai, thank you for becoming a Rap Tier 2 member. I appreciate it. Izzy says, team is Kinski, Gabriel, Calafiori. Okay, I've got your team. Bench boost 2, free hit. Thoughts? Great. Yeah, I like it. Double Arsenal defense is nice. Tarkovsky, very underrated. Apologies in the FPL community. Rushworth and Van Uwyk look good. Evan Nilsson's a bit of a rogue pick, but I can get behind it for bench boost 2. Yeah, it's very nice, is he? Very, very nice. Kieran, I've got your team. Any recommendations? Love the content. I am losing my voice. That's not good. Verbruggen, Kinski, Mihramovic, Ballard, Calafiori, Ayer, Davis, Bruno. What a team. Wow. Any recommendations? No? Sorry to not really give you anything. I think it's a banging team. Love the Sharda pick. Super jealous of a couple of those picks. I think it's a really nice team, Kieran. I can't really give you any recommendations. I assume you're on bench boost 1. It looks strong. Go for it. I think you should have a good week if all things go the way they should, which they never do. Mark says, welcome back, Ross. Bench boost 1. Okay, I've got your team, Mark. Caicedo's a nice pick. Maguire, Odegaard. This is a nice team. I love the Odegaard and Caicedo picks. That's a very unique midfield. And you've got Isak. That's a really lovely team, Mark. I'm a big fan of that. Again, I'm not going to say anything to put you off any of those picks, I don't think. Because none of them are bad. It's just a slightly more unique team, which I like. Triple Arsenal defence is what makes no Haaland worth it. Until they concede. But no, I do get it. But obviously that's then ignoring the fact that instead of Gabriel and White, I've got Maguire and Ballard. If one of them does really well, then it counteracts that. So I get what you're saying, but I can show you the flip side if I actually really like the defence I've got. Rate the bench, please. Sherpen, Muhramovic, Slater, Davis. Very weak, I would say, because you've got Sherpen and Davis. You need Sunderland to not score, and Slater is just not a great option. You might get Defcon, so you might get 4. It's weak, but it's decent enough. Like, it's okay enough to bench boost, I would say. Tyler says, bench boost 1 million in the bank. Okay, Tyler, I've got your team. Great team. Ismail Assar. This is a player I've not seen in many teams. Sharda, Enzo Lafi, Anthony Robinson. I feel like some of these picks maybe aren't the best on bench boost 1, though. Like, is Robinson against Chelsea really who you want to bench boost? Maybe. Maybe he'll do well. Same with Ismail Assar. I can think of probably some slightly higher upside picks to start. I don't know. It's a good team, Tyler, but I think there's a couple of picks like where if you're bench boost 1, I'd maybe lean elsewhere. Maybe that's just me. So at the moment on the captaincy poll, 48% of people are captaining Haaland, 45% Bruno. Wow. That is very, very close between Bruno and Erling Haaland then. Ham Jam L says, is that right, Ham Jam L? Bench boost. Okay, I've got your team. PS, any meetups this year? There might be a meetup in Birmingham at some point. In London, I'm actually going to Fantasy Football Fest tomorrow. So if you don't know, there's a place called Fantasy Football Fest. Let me actually look if they've still got tickets open. They might, to be fair, for the Saturday. I think they do. I'll put the link in the chat. I'm going tomorrow with FPL Pickle. But it's a 2-day event, Friday and Saturday in London. It's in Vauxhall in London. I'll put it there. If anyone's around and wants to buy tickets, I'll be there. We can say hello. But other than that, yeah, I might plan a meetup at some point. Anyway, sorry, back to your team. I like it. Havertz is a sneaky good pick for just Gameweek 1. Like, beyond that, I don't know. This is a really high upside team, to be honest. Yeah, I like it a lot. Really, really high upside. A few risks in there, but that isn't necessarily a bad thing. Dan says, hi Ross, thoughts on bench boost 1? Cool, got your team. Debating Brobby over DCL short term. I think I did this one earlier, Dan. I don't know if you resent it, but I love the team. I don't have any issues with it. I don't think I'd be debating Brobby over DCL personally. I guess, do you know what? Maybe if you are thinking super short term, you can go Brobby. But I don't know why you want to shoehorn yourself into thinking short term. And I actually think DCL is fine to start the season. So I just marginally prefer DCL. Ben, I've got your bench boost 1 team. Love the Aya pick. Love the Enzo Lafi. Dango Ouattara. I'm so jealous of people that have Dango Ouattara. I just feel like he's going to do really well. Great team, Ben. It's template-ish, but got a few nice picks in there. It's a couple of different picks. You've got Bruno. You've got Haaland. It's very, very strong. Marcin has been a member for 38 months. Thank you very much, Marcin. Burrows, bench boost 1, wildcard 6. Ballard to a 4.5 to upgrade Gross or Sangare. If so, which 4.5 defender and which 6 million midfielder? I also have Calafiori, Maguire, Muhramovic. No, I would just keep Ballard. I think Gross and Sangare are great, and I really like Ballard. So I'm going to say no. Bramjot, thank you for the support. Says, hello, Ross. Loving the graphics. Thank you very much. Some time has been spent on those. Raya White, Maguire, Ballard, Bruno, Cap, Mbermo, KDH, Solis, Thiago, Isak, João Pedro, with Verbruggen, Enzo Lafi, Tarkovsky, Aya. Great team. White and KDH can change. Any suggestions? I really like Dango Ouattara, as I've mentioned a few times, if you wanted to change KDH. And White, I think you're fine to start the season with White. I think that's absolutely fine. I just know that it's a short-term pick, given that Konska's Muted. No sound. Sound fried. That's not good. Audio's gone. Refresh the stream? I don't know then. Fine for you? Refresh the stream, guys? Audio's fine. Okay, I was going to say on my end, I'm looking at it. It's just choppy. I'm hoping. Okay, refresh the stream if no audio. I'll type it in the chat for those that have no audio. Okay, thanks for letting me know. That was really weird. I was going to say, like, it's fine on my end. I don't know what I was talking about at the time, but audio went out for 2 minutes for you. That must have been on YouTube's side of things, because my OBS is looking sharp right now. Sorry about that. I was in the middle of reading a message, so I wasn't looking at the main chat, but then I'm glad I bounced back and had a look. Yeah, anyway, Bramjot, I really like your team. Sam says, hi, Ross, love the content. I'm going no Haaland and free hit 3. I have JP and Palmer. Thoughts on triple Chelsea, and who would you own? I don't mind triple Chelsea. Like, they could absolutely smash Fulham on Monday night. João Pedro's great. Palmer's very underpicked in the FPL community. I don't mind it. Don't mind it at all, Sam. Yeah, I can get behind it. Especially if you're on free hit 3, of course. Zodiac has been a member for 47 months. Welcome back from vacation. We are so ready for FPL now. Do you think it's too much to have 1 mil in the bank game week 1? Zodiac, you're a very good manager yourself, so you know all of this anyway. What I would say is that it's not too much if you don't feel like that million will really help you upgrade your team. Because for me, if I took 1 million out of anywhere of this team, I feel like I would be sacrificing hugely. But if you look at your squad and you're like, there's not like a million that I could spend elsewhere, then I would keep it in the bank. 1 million could be really useful for giving you flexibility. My audio cut out on YouTube when you read my team. Did it? Let me try and go back to that then, Ben. Okay, I read out your team, Ben. What did I say? I think I just said it's unreal, Ben. Yeah, that's the team where all I said, Ben, was that it's a great team. I'm not going to tell you to change any of it. And I said I really like the Aya and Dango picks, I think. But yeah, the team looks really good, Ben. Don't worry, you didn't miss me slaughtering your team or anything like that. Utkarsh says, welcome back, legend. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. First question for this season. Muharimovic and Sangare versus Rodon and Sharda. Muharimovic and Sangare versus Rodon and Sharda. Rodon and Sharda just, but that's very... In fact, like, Muharimovic and Sangare will be the DEFCON guys. Rodon and Sharda have a higher ceiling. So, it depends if you want to go down the DEFCON route or if you want to go down the higher ceiling route. Ryan says, hi Ross, good luck for this season. What's your plan if the 6.5 defenders start looking good? Thank you very much, Ryan. I think I'm going to wildcard early anyway, between 4 and 6. I'll just bring it forward. If I feel like I've got the wrong structure and all of the expensive defenders are absolutely smashing it, Gabriel, O'Reilly, Virgil van Dijk, Tarkovsky, and I feel like I need to restructure, then I'll just do that. And I'll just bring the wildcard forward. Do you think Ballard is the only viable Sunderland defender? Thanks again, Tathan. I don't think Ballard's the only viable one, but he's definitely the best. Mukiele, because of the injury doubts, I don't think you can go there. Realistically, it's Hume if you want to go for another Sunderland defender. And I do think he probably starts game week 1, but you just don't know where. And I don't think he's fully nailed. So I guess by that logic, he kind of is the only viable one, realistically, if you want to be safe with it. Are you going to use the bench boost? Yes, I am bench boosting this week, guys, for those asking. Giandra says, Kinski, Petrovic... Okay, I've got your team. Want to be different, but not crazy. Bench boost 2. Then you've smashed it. That team is really good, slightly different, but not crazy. There are no bad picks there. It's a great team, and it looks really good for bench boost 2. Yeah. I've not got a bad thing to say about that, honestly. I think it looks good. Who is the better pick, Lafi or Njai? 50-50 comes down to personal preference. I prefer Enzo Lafi. Any concern over O'Reilly's start or minutes? Yes. I think there is some concern over O'Reilly. It's why I wouldn't be going there right now. But for what it's worth, I think O'Reilly does start. But does he get to 60? Is there a chance that he plays Mark Gay left centre-back and Guardiola left-back? Maybe. Even Ryan Nuri is not a bad option for them. This is Dave says, has been a member for 8 months and says, hello Ross, thoughts about Bench Boost 1 team? Really nice. Really nice. I'm still not like a super big fan of Gross and Gomez. Just feels like not a waste of 2 spots because they're both good in their own right. Just something doesn't feel quite right about it, but otherwise it's great. And I know it's very popular amongst a lot of good managers, so I can understand why people are going there. Devarsh says, good luck for the season, Ross. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. On a bench boost, no Haaland. Exact funds for option A, Lamans, Williams, Mikalenko, Hume, and Jaya Thiago. Or B, Sells, Maguire, Tarkovsky, Ballard, Sharda, DCL. The second option, but I'm not sure about Sells. I guess Sells could be a good pick, actually. I'll take the back. I could see it. I could get behind it. Agnibar, I've just seen that. So sorry, mate. I think I missed that ages ago. Agnibar says, good to be back. Playing bench boost. Okay. Kinski, Verbruggen, Calafiori, Ballard, Maguire. It's a great team. It's very similar to mine. You've basically got Wirtz and Gross and Muhremovic, where I've got Rodon and Burmo and Sangari. So like, we've got very similar teams, and you've got Lafay over Hinshelwood. But the structure's very similar, Agnibar. I really, really like it. I think it's a really good team. Got a really nice balance there. Niall JD says, hi Ross, for Verbruggen, Calafiori, Maguire, Muhremovic, Semenyo, Solis, Mbermo, Palmer, DCL, Haaland, João Pedro, Kinski, Hume, De Kuyper, Diego Gomez. It's another great team. There's a few picks in there that are like slightly risky. You know, like having Hume, De Kuyper, and Gomez. Long term, those are 3 players that I don't think are nailed on, especially De Kuyper and Hume. Like, you could choose safer 4.5 defenders, but yeah. By the way, guys, if you are enjoying the stream, there are 4,000 people here, but only 600 likes. Can you please smash that like button? And if you are not subscribed, and this is the first content you've seen of mine, or you've just never subscribed, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. Omcar, thank you. Says, hello, Ross. Happy to see my favourite FPL YouTuber. Thank you, Omcar. Appreciate that. Trying to get Raya, but not able to keep Solis. Instead, I have to get Njai, Sharda, Gomez, Aya. That's fair enough. I think you've got some great options there. I really like those players. I like Sharda. I like Aya. Gomez is a good cheap midfielder. Yeah, I don't have an issue with that. Like, if you want Raya, that's fine. I just think Solis has a higher upside than Raya, but Raya will be super consistent. We know he will be. Here for FPL has been a member for 28 months. Says, hello, Ross. Thanks for all the tinkering help this week. One final thing, I think. On Bench Boost 2 and Wildcard 4, Kinski or Verbruggen alongside Petrovic. On Wildcard 4, Kinski. Yeah, Kinski. And on Bench Boost 2, yeah, Kinski for me. Kinski's the one. Mark says, hello, Ross. Hello, Mark. Bench Boost 1, Lamans, Verbruggen, Calafiori, Maguire, White, Rodon, Davis, Solis, Mbermo, Semenyo, Soboslai, Gomez, Haaland, João Pedro, Thiago. What do you think? Love that, Mark. Honestly, guys, like you're all sending me such brilliant teams and questions. Like the average skill level of people watching content now is just incredible. Like, what brilliant teams! Like, I've not a single person has sent me a team or a combination where I've read it and gone, that really stinks. I don't like that. Like, it's a great Mark. I don't know what to say because I kind of want to give you feedback and say that I would change X, Y, Z, but it's great. Timbo Slice, got your team. Hello again, you glorious egg. Thoughts on this team? Thank you for coming back again for another season. Bench Boost 2 or Bench Boost 4. Ooh, interesting. I'm interested. Bench Boost 2. I don't love Slater, especially. It's not a bad fixture, but he's playing against your Coventry defence. Other than that, it's really good. I'm not a big fan of Slater, I'll be honest. Like, I really think you try and get to a 5 million, but outside of that, I think strong. Armallow has become a Rap Tier 2 member. Thank you very much. Cosmic says, hello, my favourite egg. 5 months and still going strong. Appreciate you. I appreciate you too. No questions, just wanted to say hi. Remember to like and subscribe. What a legend, Cosmic. It's been a very nice 5 months having you on board. David says, last combo, Rodon and Dango versus Muhremovic and Sharda. I think it's Muhremovic and Sharda. Like, I love Dango, but I think Muhremovic and Sharda is the correct combo there. Gross and Kinski or Lamans and Gomez? Ooh, Gross and Kinski. Hello, Ross. Thoughts on Tavernier on Bench Boost 2? I like it. What about Rio Engamoa as a 6 million pick? Don't mind it, but they're definitely trying to sign at least 2 attackers, Liverpool. So I think Rio Engamoa starts game week 1, but I think there are better 6 million picks personally now. Boom. APAC. Thank you for coming back, as always. Has it been 2 or 3 years you've been watching the streams now? But thank you for coming back. I appreciate it. Happy to see you for another season. My Bench Boost 1 team. Verbruggen, Calafiori, White, Muhremovic, Bruno Mbermo, Solis, Sharda, Haaland, João Pedro, Calvert-Lewin. Jesus Christ, what a team. I'm currently debating doing Aya to Hume. I prefer Aya. Yeah, that's really, really nice. No major concerns with me there. MN Chuckster, thank you for becoming a Rap Tier 1 member. Have you never been a member before? Or is that just refreshed? I know you've always sent super chats, but hello.
I was just going to say thanks because that was my exact dilemma, the Hume thing, but I think I'll go Aya.
I think, yeah, Hume's really good upside early doors if he starts, but I just think Aya's a better, safer pick, yeah.
Yeah, okay, but I'm going to go for a run.
Okay, bye. Good to be back. Cambo or Van Hecker for Bench Boost 1 Wildcard 6? Van Hecker. Van Hecker just, yeah. I like Van Hecker a lot. I am really behind on answering super chats, guys. So I know a lot of people are saying I've missed it. I don't think I have. I'm just slightly behind. So I apologise. I will get there, I promise. The thing is, like I've said this before, I could just answer super chats like that, but when people have sent money, which I appreciate, I don't like just giving a rubbish answer that takes 5 seconds, which means that I then get behind because I've answered in a lot of detail. Where was I? Karan says Shaw or Rodon, definitely Rodon. I'm not a big fan of Luke Shaw as a pick long term. Both White and Calafiori. I like both White and Calafiori. I prefer Calafiori if you're going to choose one. Iliman Ndiaye or Enzo Lafie. I prefer Enzo Lafie. So Rodon, Calafiori, Enzo Lafie is my favourites. 55 months, Darshil. Wow. Best FPL content. Much love. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Bench Boost 1. Pickford. I've not seen a single Pickford. Pickford and Tarkowski. Okay. Triple Everton. Are you an Everton fan, Darshil? I wouldn't go triple Everton. You've got Ndiaye, Tarkowski, and Pickford. I don't think they're going to be great this season, Everton. I don't mind Ndiaye, and I don't mind Tark. I would probably remove Pickford. Or Tarkowski down to like an Aya frees up a lot of funds. Unless you're just really keen on having Everton players, I think you can do better there. We've got one from Bepemb19. Bepemb19 says, hello, GOAT. What's the best option? Shaw and O'Reilly or Tarkowski and Ballard? I don't love O'Reilly or Tarkowski right now. Your wildcard 3. Have you got Ballard? No, have you got who did I just think of? Game week 1 and 2, you want someone with high upside. Have you got Maguire? I think I would like Maguire and Ballard. Like, if you're wildcarding 3, you want a player that has high upside, that can score a goal and has good fixtures game week 1 and 2. I think that's Maguire and Ballard. If you've already got Maguire, I'd go for the Tarkowski and Ballard combo. Matt says, Brapta, hello, thoughts? Bench Boost 2. I like the Santos pick. I like Van Uyck. Thomas looks good. Foden's nice. O'Reilly. My big concern with that team is it's so high upside, but Palestra, O'Reilly, Foden, maybe Zolis, maybe Santos, maybe even Brian Mbermo, maybe even Morgan Rogers. You've got a lot of players there that conceivably, due to either injury or just coming into the team or getting rotated, could all be benched in Game Week 2. It's a very risky team, I think, to carry through to Game Week 2. Hi, Ross. Jealous of the Gymshark t-shirt? What, you're jealous of where the Gymshark t-shirt is? Are you flirting with me, or are you saying you like the Gymshark t-shirt? Either way, thank you. Either way, I'll take it. Hopefully the sound all worked out. I don't know what happened last time, but... Right, where was I? Yebing3098 says Verbruggen, Kinski, Calafiori, Maguire, Nico Williams, Alderete, Davis, Gomez, Dewsbury Hall, Bruno Fernandes, Brian Mbeumo, Enzo Lafi, João Pedro, DCL, Haaland. Should I bench boost? Yeah, absolutely. You can't build a team like that and not bench boost. Alderete I would not take a risk with, though. I would replace Alderete with Ballard, and then you're good to go. I think he's the only major risk there, but there's no guarantee that he's fit and starts game week 1. Matt says Soboslai Rodon Aya versus Sharda Muhramovic Ballard. Sharda Muhramovic Ballard for me. Snowbombs says, thanks, legend, for all you do. I appreciate you. Thank you. And apologies for the delay. I'm struggling. How would you improve my no Haaland team? Bench boost 1. Raya Kinski, Ballard, O'Reilly, Gabriel, Shaw, Van Hecker, Soboslai, Erdegaard, Mbeumo, Bruno, Gross, Thiago, JP, DCL. I honestly would downgrade Nico O'Reilly to some other 5 million defender like Muhramovic. I would upgrade Shaw to Maguire. So O'Reilly to Muhramovic, Shaw to Maguire, and I would do Gross up to Solis, or no, you can't do Solis. You already got 3 Arsenal. Gross up to Dango Ouattara. Like Gross to Dango, O'Reilly to Muhramovic, Shaw to Maguire. They're the sort of changes I would make, but then I'm just making it more like my team that I would go with, and you should own it at the end of the day, you know? Hi, Ross. Are you planning to attack transfers and save cash, or going to wait for news as always? Are you looking to change it up a bit more? I'm going to try and be a bit more patient this year, but I'm also going to play my own game. And if I see the ability to make transfers which will improve my team, I'll still make them early doors, I think. Leon says, best 5.5 and 6 million midfielder combo, apart from yours, obviously. I think Gross and Sharda is probably the best on paper if you're not going to go something similar to me. Gross and Sharda I like. Cheyenne says, hi Ross, please rate my team. Okay. Bench boost active, 0.5 in the bank, kindly. Okay. Cheyenne, how would I rate your team? It's a great team. It's one of the better no Haaland ones I've seen. I would say like 9 out of 10 for a no Haaland team. I mean, Rodgers is a marginal risk, and so is Palestra a marginal risk, but you'd expect both to start, and Fulham's a great game. I think Mosquera is an okay pick in the medium term. Those are the 3 that I would have slight question marks over, but they're still really, really good. I've got no concerns with that team. Chance of Schlager Vuskovic being benched in game week 1. I would say Vuskovic, there's a 40% chance he's benched, 60% starts. Schlager, I would have at about the same. So I would say Schlager and Vuskovic, I'd both have at 60% chance of starting, but I'd have a 40% chance of being benched. So I don't think either I would risk, unless you're not bench boosting game week 1. Rodgers, Dango, Vert, Sobo. I have Rodgers. Out of those options, who do I prefer? Dango and Soboslai would be the 2 I think make the most sense, and they're both the cheaper ones as well. Or are you saying Rodgers and Dango versus Verts and Soboslai? Probably not. I don't really understand what the question is, but I like Dango and Sobo probably from those. Matthew says bench boost 2. Okay, Matthew, I've got your team. That's a nice team. Some different picks in there. Yeah, I really like it. I don't mind going a little bit bigger on Bournemouth in game week 2. I think that makes sense. Unsure on Leeds and Tav. No, I think that's a lovely team, mate. 0.5 in the bank. If I had 0.5 in the bank, I'd be very tempted to go for a different 5.5 that looks better in game week 2. Like, you could do Gomez to Granit Xhaka. And I think that looks a lot better in game week 2. But otherwise, it looks really strong, Matthew. And Indy Arif says, my team is Verbruggen, White, Ballard, Calafiori, Sharda and Burmo, Solis, Bruno, Haaland, JP, Calvert-Lewin. Thoughts? What a team. Yeah, I mean, it's similar in nature to mine. It just arguably looks slightly better, to be honest. Is Tielemans a good pick? Oof, not a bad pick. I think there are better picks, though, for sure. I feel like I'm never in the centre when I'm stood up. That's the issue. Dude, answer super chats quicker. I can't do that. If you, I will say now, by the way, if you're one of the 4,000 people watching and you want to send in a super chat, I would wait. I'm very behind. I'm getting through them as quick as I can. But if I just read the super chats, it's boring. So I'm sort of bouncing back and forth between the chat and the super chats. But I would say right now, probably don't send in a new one for a little while, unless you want to wait a while. Lauren says, hi, Izzy Gaming is my boyfriend. Help me beat him. This is unreal. Hello. Good to have you in the chat. I can absolutely do that. Right. My boyfriend or my best friend? BF? I'm assuming boyfriend. Anyway, my team. Raya, Gabriel, Tarkovsky, Erdegaard, Palmer, Bruno, Sobo, Isaac, Jesus, DCL. What a team. For Bruggen, Shaw, O'Shea, Sharda. That's a great team. You know what you're doing, Lauren. Wow. What don't I like? I can't really criticize most. Like, I know you've got Palmer in there. Like, I wouldn't have Palmer, but that doesn't mean I want you to take Palmer out. Like, Igor Jesus is a really underrated pick to start the season. Yeah, I like it. I think I'd just lock that team in, Lauren. Like, there's nothing majorly wrong with that at all. I think you do really well with that team. Treble Man City. What a terrible name. Says, if I'm not a triple captain on Bruno before wildcard 6, so if I'm not captaining Bruno before 6, is it viable going to upgrade elsewhere? Yeah. Yeah. If you're not going to captain Bruno in game week 2 against Ipswich at home, then I wouldn't go with Bruno. I'm going to captain Bruno in game week 1 and 2 probably, so I'm going to have Bruno. Haaland, Gomez, Muhremovic, or Gabriel, Semenyo, Isak. I think Haaland, Gomez, Muhremovic. Sharda, Ben White, Weaver, or Gibbs White and 2 4.5 defenders. I don't like Weaver. Sharda, White, and a better 5 million defender. Sharda, White, and a better 5 million defender is probably stronger for me, Vargas. Van Hecker, Muhremovic, Ballard, Maguire. There are a load of 5 million defenders I prefer. If you want to go for a Brighton defender, just go for Kalioglu and save the money. You know what will be fun? Coventry mogging Arsenal tonight. Can you imagine? Are we Team Dango or Team Sharda? I think they've priced them perfectly. I think Dango is 0.5 better than Sharda. So if you want to save the money and go for Sharda, I don't mind it. If they were the same price, I would be all over Dango Ouattara. I just prefer him as a player. Sharda and Jai, Gomez, Foden, Solis, Gross. Which 12 million pairing? I think Solis, Gross. Just Solis and Gross. Gabriel, Mamadou Sangare, or O'Reilly and Soboslai. Gabriel, Mamadou Sangare. Ramex is freaking out over Solis versus Erdegaard. Just feel Erdegaard is more nailed long term and was unreal versus City. Flips a coin and Solis won 3 out of 3 tosses. Chaos wins. No, I would go Erdegaard. If your gut feeling is Erdegaard, trust your gut feeling. Like, FPL is such an unpredictable game anyway. You don't know what's going to happen, but you'll be really annoyed if Erdegaard pops off. Like, if Solis pops off and you just trust your gut feeling on Erdegaard, you just say, fair enough, like, I was wrong. But if it goes the other way and Erdegaard bangs in a couple of goals and Solis gets rotated, you'll be kicking yourself. I would trust your gut feeling. Lawrence says, hello, Ross. Hope you are well. Sharda or Lafi? Just about Kevin Sharda, but I think it's quite close. Rahul says, is it really bad idea to go with Solis, going with gut? No, I like Solis. I wouldn't captain him if that was what you're asking, because I feel like you missed a word out, but to have Solis is fine. 15 million, need 2 midfielders and 1 defender. What do I do? You can't really. That's not enough money. Leaf, Davis, Diop, or O'Shea, and then Gross and Sangare. Gross, Sangare, and a 4 million Ipswich defender should be 15 million if my maths is correct. Joko _Brit says, hello, Ross. Bench boost 1, wildcard 3. Okay, I've got your team. Isak, I like people having Isak and Thiago. I'm a bit jealous. Bruno, Palmer, Semenyo, Nico Williams, very underrated pick. Yeah, I like that team, Joko Brit. Can I criticize it at all? No? Big thumbs up. It's a nice team if you want to go without Erling Haaland. I can't really say anything that I don't like there. Bench boost 4 is to upgrade Slater after selling Bruno, says Timber. Okay, that was a while ago that I read your thing, so sorry. But yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, so maybe bench boost 4 is the way then, Timbo. Cheyenne says, hello, Ross. Please rate my team. Bench boost active. You missed my previous super chat. I think I've now answered it, right? I was just so behind. I did try and explain that. I was just so behind. Yeah, I did. It had Palestra in it. It's a very nice team. I think there's a few risks, but otherwise I think it's a very, very good team. Do I play Solis and Gomez or Lafi and Sangare? I think Solis and Gomez is high upside. Lafi Sangare maybe slightly safer on minutes. Solis and Gomez probably has the ceiling that you want early doors. Discover with Sim. I've got your bench. I've got your team, and you are on the bench boost. Great. Aronson's an interesting pick. Do you think Aronson's definitely nailed? Could they not play Okafor and Wilson? I love the team outside of that, Sim. Aronson's the only one that I'm hesitant on. Just make sure that you think he's fully nailed. Derek says, hello, Ross. Welcome back to another season. Thank you. Thoughts on Dorgu for the first 2 weeks? I would be surprised if Dorgu doesn't start game week 1. I think there is absolutely no guarantee that Dorgu starts game week 2. And I would also say there's a 10 to 15% chance that Dorgu doesn't start game week 1 as well. You could still see Cunha come in. So, yeah. What do you make of people copying your team the whole year? Oh, it's not ideal. There's no way around it. Like, I create content. I'm not going to start hiding my team and not discussing my team. Because the thing is, it's not just I have to hide my team on the deadline stream. I also then have to completely change the way I make content. Like, if people want to just copy, it's sad because I think that's not the point of the game. But then they can do it. I'm not going to make the decisions for them. It's the same as like people will say, well, content creators should stop showing their team. But then there are models and algorithms. You can ask AI now. Like, you can ask someone to make your decisions for you. You can ask, like, there are always ways to get a competitive advantage that aren't necessarily the best way to do it. I'm not going to be able to police all of that. So that I would rather people didn't just copy me, but if they want to, I mean, good luck, you know. Good luck copying me. Emmett Chuckster says, hey, hi, first time member, you're correct. I thought it was time. Thank you so much. You do more than enough, but thank you. What do you think of my team? Right. Emmett Chuckster, you had the worst luck last season. Let's get you locked in for this year. Bench boost 2. Lamans, Gabriel, Calafiori, Ballard, Solis, Mbermo, Semenyo, Sharda, JP, Haaland, DCL. Bench of Leno, Xhaka, Aya, Van Uyk. Oh. Right. I'm going to make you a promise. You are not going to have a bad start to the season with that team. It's not possible. It looks so good. Looks so good. You've got Gabriel, Haaland, Mbermo. You've got triple Arsenal. You've got a great bench boost. I love that team, mate. You're going to have a strong season. I can feel it. Hayden Ferguson says, hi, Ross. Here is my team. Kinski, Shaw, Calafiori, Muhramovic, Bruno Soboslai, Mbermo and Jai. Template forwards. Sangare, Aya, Diop. Thoughts? Great team. 9 out of 10. Soboslai versus Solis and Jai versus Sharda. It's all very close. Like, I probably prefer Solis and Sharda. And you've got in Soboslai and Jai. But we're talking about very, very, very fine margins here. CPFC197 says, welcome back, mate. Welcome to you as well. We go again. Maguire Rodon to Shaw Muhramovic is worth considering. Yeah, I prefer Maguire and Rodon, though. United should dominate possession, so an assist versus header, while Muhramovic's ceiling is miles above Rodon. The thing is, like, Luke Shaw doesn't have assist threat. So you say Man United will dominate possession, but even in games where we dominated possession last year, Luke Shaw wasn't getting assists. So I just think Maguire and Rodon is marginally better. But I do agree it's worth consideration for sure. I might have a sit down in a second. Thanks, FPL says, hello, Ross. Welcome back. It's been a while. 3 or 4 years subscriber. Thank you so much. And of course, I remember you. Raya Kinski, Gabriel Shaw, Lacroix Gross, Mbermo Soboslai, Solis, Sarr, Haaland, JP, Calvert-Lewin, Aya Davis. Great team. Lacroix could be a great pick if he can keep up the DEFCON numbers we've seen previously. He feels a bit expensive right now, but I love it. I love Gabriel Raya. It's a great team. It's a really nice structure, actually. Slightly different, but in a good way. No Haaland, wildcard 3, Morgan, Gibbs, White, Foden and Maguire, or Semenyo, Soboslai, De Kuiper, Sharda or Lafi. I think I prefer Gibbs, White, Foden, Maguire, and I think Sharda is slightly better than Lafi. Sharda versus Lafi versus Iliman and Jai is a question I'm getting a lot. It depends what you want. Iliman and Jai and Lafi should be on penalties. I think Kevin Sharda has a higher ceiling from open play. Like, he's a much more of a goal threat. I've got Hinshelwood, who's 0.4% owned. Like, no one's got the same player as me. So I think trust your gut feeling on that. El Chivers says, hello, Ross. Got Bruno and Mbermo and Solis. 4th, 5th mids. Njai and Sharda. Here we go. Lafi and Sharda. 3 Soboslai Gomez. 4 Dango Gross. Lafi and Sharda would be. I would go for option 2. El Shivers would be my way that I would do it. Zandrel says bench boost 1, wildcard 3, Gvardiol, Shaw, Mitchell or Aya, or Van Hecker, Maguire, Ballard. Ooh, Van Hecker, Maguire, Ballard. I love that combo. Yeah, Van Hecker, Maguire, Ballard looks good to me. Is Yassin Ayari not being overlooked? Yes, absolutely. The guy is an absolute... He loves a goal, that guy. And yeah, I think he's very, very overlooked. I have nothing negative to say about Yassin Ayari, to be honest. Hi Ross, who is the best 4.5 defender? Why is it not Luke Shaw? Luke Shaw, right, like what do you want from a defender? You want them playing for either a good defence, Luke Shaw doesn't. You want attacking threat, and I can already see a Luke Shaw goal in game week 1. So I want to say, I'm not saying he can never score, but largely no goal threat or assist threat, no DEFCON potential, not playing in a great defence. And Man United are trying to sign left backs. For me, Luke Shaw isn't in the top 3 or 4 4.5s. I think it's Rodon, Aya. There's one more that I've just forgotten about off the top of my head. Rodon, Aya. I think it is those two, to be fair, but there's one more that I'm actually my brain has gone a blank, but those two are definitely the standouts. Andy Robertson could be a cheeky pick. Don't hate Andy Robertson. Marcelo, Mr. Max says, what's up? We are back. FPL 58 months is crazy, by the way, Max. Work's hectic, so I know I'm quiet, but I'm still here. Longest serving Raptor. Darshu and the Wings keep up the top work, mate. Yeah, 58 months. You probably are. In fact, you should be, Max, the longest serving member. Yeah, it looks really good. Right, where were we? Treble MCFC says bench boost 1, Kinski, Verbruggen, Calafiori, White, Muhramovic, Hume, Maguire, and Burmo and Jai, Semenyo, Solis, Sharda. Great. Great, really like that. Yeah, that's a really nice team. And I can understand why you want Semenyo and Cherki, or you're saying Semenyo and Cherki will start with Doku injured. So you think it'll be Cherki and Foden then? Interesting. Interesting. Right, I think it's time to sit down. I'm hoping it doesn't destroy my setup, but should be fine. Oh, I like to stand up sometimes with my standing desk, but my back is destroyed also. It hurts sitting, it hurts standing, it just hurts constantly. I'm like an old man. Right, where was I? Thank you for all of the support, by the way, and all the super chats, and I'm so sorry that I'm so behind on them. And I am still so behind on them, but I am doing my very best. Wildcard 3, Shaw and Hinchwood and Maguire and Gross. Njai and White or Muhramovic and Solis? Muhramovic and Solis for me would be my favourite combo. Alexander says, thoughts, bench boost 2, Kelleher, Kinski, Hume, Maguire, Calafiori, Muhramovic, Thomas Mbermo, Semenyo, Dango, Solis, Lafi, Haaland, João Pedro, Thiago. Love the content. Thank you very much, and what a team. Kelleher and Trafford are so underrated as picks. Like, if you want a different keeper, Kelleher and Trafford for me are the two standouts. I love that team. I love the Dango Ouattara pick. I think you've got a really nice team. I'd guess you're maybe a Brentford fan. Maybe you're not. But having Thiago, Dango, and Kelleher, I really like them. Leon says, thoughts bench boost 1, but your team. Muhramovic over Rodon, Sharda over Solis, and Jai over Hinshelwood. Big thumbs up, Leon. On paper, that's arguably better than mine. So, like, I'm just going with my personal preference on a couple of players, but I can understand why you want to go with that. I love Ross. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Jai or Sharda have Aya in defence. Don't think it matters. I don't think Aya's related to that. I would go Sharda, just about. Adam says, Raya, Gabriel, Van Dijk, Muhramovic. Great defence, bloody hell. Hinchwood or Sharda, Solis, Dango, and Burmo. JP, Haaland, DCL. 4 million goalkeeper, Van Hecker, Konsa, 4.5 mid. Delayed chips, delayed transfers. Big thumbs up. Just so that you know, because I don't know if you know this, Adam, if you go with Raya, Gabriel, Solis, and Konsa, once Konsa becomes an Arsenal player, you'll have 4 Arsenal players, and you will not be able to make a single transfer until you sell one of them. So as soon as you go into the transfer page, it will force you to remove one of those 4. That could be fine, But the issue then is if you don't want to use a transfer on one of them, you're sort of forcing yourself. Or you want to use a transfer elsewhere, you'll then have to use 2 transfers to sell an Arsenal and make the other one. So I wouldn't go into the season with Conser and 3 Arsenal. Other than that, it's a really nice team, Adam. We've got a huge super chat from Virgil Smith. Hello, Virgil Smith. Thank you. Virgil, are you new to the live streams? Your name doesn't immediately ring a bell to me, but thank you so much for the very generous super chat. Said, love the content. Fernandes and Soboslai and Porro and Shaw. Okay. Or Mbermo, Soboslai, Gabriel, Maguire. Oh, mate, I love Bruno Fernandes, but that second combo is so much better. Mbermo, Sobo, Gabriel, Maguire. I love Bruno Fernandes, but I'm going to have to say, if I'm just looking at those two, Virgil, like that is better, that second combo. Oh, Conser's already listed as Arsenal. Oh, I didn't. Oh, sorry, my bad then. The same thing applies then. If you go into the season with 4 Arsenal, is it the same argument? You're not going to be able to make a transfer. Work has finished and finally FPL deadline. We are back, Rosticles. Rosticles is a funny name. I've been called Rostifer before. I've been called Rosticles. I've been called Rossosaurus Rex. What else? Like, there's lots of things you can do with Ross. Unfortunately, every nickname, when you've got a 4-letter, 1-syllable name, every nickname that you have is just making your name longer. Like my nickname across my whole childhood was Rossi. Like Valentino or Giuseppe, but everyone used to call me Rossi. But then it's weird because my nickname is longer than my name. Most people that have a nickname, it's usually a shortened version of their name. Downgrade my bench of Gross and Muhremovic to Gomez and Diop so that I can afford Kinski to Raya. No. I prefer Gross, Muhremovic and Kinski. Mbermo and Jai, Diop, Ben White, Soboslai, Sangare. Mbermo and Jai, Diop or Ben White, Soboslai, Sangare. Oh, that's so tough, man. That's so tough. I actually think I prefer Mbermo, Njai, and Sangare. Just about. Guys, who's that one player that you think is just so underrated and that no one has, but they should? Who's that one player you've got that you're just like, how does no one else have them? Mine for me is Ballard. I think Ballard's great. Not that no one else has them, but like not many people have big BDB. Do you like Brian Brobby? I like Brian Brobby. Yeah, some great picks here. Dango, Solis, Wisser, Tonali, Isak, Trafford, Jorginho Ruta, Brobby, Gibbs White, Thiago. There's some great shouts in there. Like, stick with those players. Oh, my keyboard's died. What is your bench boost? Game week 1, bench boost. Game week 2, bench boost. Other. Right, I've put a poll in the chat. Captaincy poll is done. Basically, everyone's captaining Bruno or Haaland, and it's pretty split. But I've also got a bench boost poll now in the chat. Rob says, hello, Ross. Best of luck this season. What do you think of this squad? Bench boost active, no Haaland or Bruno. Wow. Raya Verbruggen, Tarkovsky, Maguire, Gabriel, Mbermo, Semenyo, Solis, Wirtz, Isak, João Pedro, Thiago, Dewsbury Hall, Davis, Muhremovic. Lovely team, Rob. Wow. Do you know what, Rob? If you're willing to wildcard early, because you might be forced into it if you regret that, it's a great team to start the season. The only thing I don't like about no Bruno, no Haaland is who do you captain? Because if you go without one of them, you usually captain the other. I guess you captain Gabriel or Mbermo. Hi, bench boost 1. Verbruggen, Kinski, Calafiori, Davis, Ayer, Rodon, Maguire, Hume, Sharda, Bruno, Mbermo, Lafie, Solis, JP, DCL, Haaland. I love that. I would probably get rid of Hume and have Ayer and Rodon. So it would be Calafiori, Davis, Ayer, Rodon, Maguire. Yeah, I think that's a really nice team. I would just, instead of Hume, I would just have Ayer and Rodon. And then I'd be very happy with that. Love the content. Maguire and Sangare are Shaw and Sharda. Maguire and Sangare just. Hi, Ross. Is Shaw over Maguire good? I think Maguire's a much better pick than Shaw. Sigurd says, 4th season watching. Thank you, legend. You're more than welcome. Thank you. Bench boost 1 team. Ooh, Luko 9, maybe a slight risk, but I don't know. Guess he should start. Vuskovic, a slight risk. Ismail Assar, interesting pick in there. Foden, Gibbs, White. Semenyo, Brobby. You've got a very different team, Sigurd. I would just say that 09 and Vuskovic are slight risks for me. Unless I've missed something on Sunderland and one of Alderete or Mukiele has been fully ruled out. But I just don't know that I would take any risks going into Game Week 1, personally. Sharda, Gvardiol and Rodon or Lafi, Ballard, Muhremovic? Lafi, Ballard, Muhremovic for me. Why is Sharda, Ballard, Muhremovic not an option? I think I like Sharda, Ballard and Muhremovic is my favourite combo there, Paul. Ahmed says, hello Ross, Gross and Sharda or Sangare and Enzo Lafi? Gross and Sharda or Sangare and Enzo Lafi? Gross and Sharda, just. I have Zolis and Burmo Bruno, so I'm planning a bench boost 1 wildcard 6. Thank you for the great content. You're more than welcome, Ahmed. Yeah, I think I like Gross and Sharda. Sobo or Verts? If you have the extra 0.5, I like Verts, but I think Sobo's probably the safer pick anyway. Chicharito says, team bench boost 1. I've got it. Starting to make FPL content this season. My name is FPL Chicharito. Any tips? Enjoy the process. Try to make sure that you make something about your content unique. And just enjoy it. Like, it's very difficult to make it in as a content creator when there's so many. You've just got to enjoy the process. If you're starting out to try and make money or to try and be the best off the bat, like, it's not going to happen. So just enjoy it. Enjoy learning. Enjoy the journey of getting better at editing, presenting. Like, if I look back at my old videos, the graphics were terrible. My presentational skills were terrible. And they still are. I'm joking. Anyway, your team is great. I really like that team. Such a strong team. Like, whenever I see no Haaland teams, they look brilliant. But then I remember they've got no Haaland, you know? Dave says, good luck this year on our 4-year anniversary. Thank you, Dave. For Game Week 1 bench boost, would you consider Diop or Davis or O'Shea? All 3 are fine. I genuinely think you just need to get lucky. Like, you could literally just coin flip and just pick one at random, and you've got as much chance of getting it right. In a single one-off week, it does not matter. FPL The Max says, evening, Ross, so hungover. Oh no, 54 months. Here's the team for bench boost 1. Nice. Yeah, lovely team. I think for me, I would prefer, like, Gvardiol and Shaw. I would prefer, like, Maguire and Ballard, or Van Hecker and Muhremovic. Like, rather than Gvardiol and Shaw, I think 2 5s is stronger. But the rest of the team looks great, and obviously, I don't want to put you off owning the players that you want to own. Really like Solis and Sangare to Sharda and Lafi. Yeah, I'm considering it quite heavily, you know. It does feel strong, doesn't it? Sharda and Gross or Dango Sangare have Solis. I think Sharda and Gross, Sumac, and thank you for being here as always, Sumac. But yeah, I think Sharda and Gross. Tyler says team rating. I've got your team. Thoughts on Sims? I don't like Sims as a pick because I think Awoniyi is probably going to come in for him. All right, they could play him together, I suppose. I also have reservations over Declan Rice. So, like, if that was my team, Rice down, how much would you need? 1 million. Rice down to a 6.5 or 6, and Ellis Sims up to Calvert-Lewin, and I think that team's a lot stronger, Tyler. That would be what I would do. But obviously, if you want Rice, if you want Sims, then go for it. Sorvik says, my team is Verbruggen, Kinski, Gabriel, Calafiori, Muhremovic, Maguire, O'Shea, Verts, and Burmo, Bruno, Solis, Soboslai, DCL, Isak, Pedro. What do you think? Yeah, I love it, man. Lovely team. Really solid. Nothing I can criticise, really. I love the fact that you've got Gabriel in there. Obviously, it's a no Haaland draft, but it's a strong no Haaland draft. I'm not going to sit here at any point and put anyone off of a no Haaland draft, a no Bruno draft. If you want to go with Gabriel, like, all of them can work. I'm just going to let you all do kind of what suits you, you know? Village Flower says, Gomez and João Pedro or Gross and Brobby and 0.5. Gomez and João Pedro. I think João Pedro is great. And Burmo captain if no Bruno, unsure on minutes. I think it would be very unlucky if Burmo doesn't start. I can't promise you, but I would be happy with Burmo captain. Missed my chat, I think. Mine was a while ago. I think I've now answered it, Yesla. In fact, I know for a fact I've answered yours. I just don't know when you sent the second message, but I've definitely answered your new one. Oh, your old one, sorry. Storm52 says, hi Ross, no Haaland bench boost 1. Rodon and Foden, or Erdegaard, Solis and Muhremovic? Solis and Muhremovic. Also, thinking on skipping Haaland game week 3, Foden and Semenyo instead. How dumb is that? You don't need to decide that right now. You can see how Haaland looks in game week 1 and 2 and then make a decision. And then we can decide how dumb it is. But Solis and Muhremovic would be my favourite combo there, Storm. Kinski in 0.5 or Lamans? Kinski in 0.5 to use elsewhere, I think I prefer. Alex says, hello, Ross. Thank you very much for the super chat, Alex. I've got your team. Really nice. And Burmo, Soboslai, Solis, Semenyo, DCL, JP, Isak. Plan game week 3, Bruno Fernandes and Isak. Okay, so my only thing I will say on your team, Alex, is I keep telling people I don't love saying that in game week 3 you're going to sell Isak and Bruno to Erling Haaland and a cheap mid. My concern with that is those are your only 2 free transfers and you're already telling me that's how you're going to use them. What happens if something else goes wrong? Or what happens if you desperately want Haaland, but Bruno looks brilliant, or Isak looks unbelievable? Like, I wouldn't be booking in transfers ahead of time. I would basically say I'm going to wildcard, is what I think you should do if you're going without Haaland in game week 3. So if you're happy to wildcard in 3, I like it, or free hit in 3, but I don't think you should sit there right now and say you're definitely going to do Bruno and Isak down to cheap mid and Haaland. It's a nice, by the way, it's a nice plan on paper. I'm just saying don't commit too much to it in your head because you never know what might happen. If I go Soboslai to Solis, I can go Shaw to Maguire. I like that a lot, Hayden. I'm a big fan of that. Carsten says, thoughts on Wirtz, Foden to Maddison? Don't think Maddison's a good pick at all. I don't mind downgrading one of Wirtz or Foden, though. Solis / Rodon or Muhremovic / Lafi. I just about prefer Solis and Rodon. Ismail Assar could have pens while Mateta is out. I didn't realise Mateta was out, but yeah, sure. I must have missed that. Although I think Strand Larsen could also take a pen, by the way. Sumac, thank you for your second super chat. Says, hi Ross, game week 1 bench boost for Bruggen. Okay, I've got your team. Considering Maguire Sharda to Lafi Van Hecker, is it worth it or leave it? I think I prefer Maguire and Sharda at the moment, but it's pretty close. If you like it, Sumac, it's good. Honestly, mate, either combination's good and your team's looking very, very strong. Arjo says, Decoypa alternative 4.5 million. Kadioglu, if you want to go very similar. I think Aya and Rodon are still my favourite 4.5s, but yeah, Kadioglu's probably the safer one if you don't want to risk it. I think Decoypa probably does start, but I can't sit here and promise you that. So yeah, if you don't want to take the risk, I get it. What's the latest on Rodoni? I haven't actually seen an update, I'm afraid. I probably wouldn't take the risk. I also think there are enough other 5 million midfielders now. Matthew Paul says, hey, starting 11, Sanchez, Van Hecker, Hume, Sharda, Bruno F, Erdegaard, Mbeumo, Havertz, Pedro, Haaland. Yeah, I've not seen a single team with Sanchez, by the way. Van Hecker's nice. Hume's a good short-term option. Havertz, good short-term option. Yeah, I like the team. A couple of shorter-term picks, so you might be forced into making some transfers early doors, but I like it. Ben has become a Rap Tier 1 member. Thank you, member. Thank you, Ben. Appreciate it. Guys, thank you so much for the support on this stream, by the way. The super chats, the likes, the comments in the chat. I'm sorry, by the way. I always say this throughout the season, but I'm going to heavily apologise in Game Week 1. I know there will be some people out there that send messages in every stream and I never reply to you. Just know that I'm obviously not deliberately doing that with you. On average, it's something like 30 to 40,000 messages that come in through the chat in a live stream. So there is a very good chance that I just will keep missing. But believe me, I'm not deliberately missing your chat. And I appreciate you being here either way. It means a lot. But yeah, I will inevitably keep probably ignoring people. Gross and Brobby with 0.5 in the bank. I did that one, didn't I? Yeah, I think Gomez and João Pedro. VVD is essential, in my opinion. Wow, that's a bold claim. Post set piece coach change. XG per 90 rose 215%. Shots per 90 plus 80. 0 goals in the first 18 and 6 in the final 20. You make a very good argument. It's too late for me because I'm not trying to find a way to get Virgil van Dijk in, but you can come back and look very smug if he starts doing really, really well. Yeah, to be fair, Virgil van Dijk, the more I think of it, Virgil van Dijk is a player that's probably being underrated in the community. And then Chuckster, back again, says, glad you like the team, but would love your opinion on this. Which duo would you pick? Semenyo Xhaka or Gibbs White and Jai? Wow. Oh, that's a tough one. I quite like the structure of Semenyo Xhaka, and I think if that's what you've got right now, it's probably the way you were leaning. I do like Gibbs White and Njai, though. I think I would say just about Semenyo Xhaka, mate, but it's super close. Would I start Sharda or Xhaka? I would start Sharda. So yeah, I'd have Granit Xhaka as your first sub. John Stop Gaming says, on Bench Boost 1 free hit 3, no Haaland. Thoughts on Palmer and Palestra? I think they're both fine. Yeah, for free hit 3, Bench Boost 1. I think Palmer and Palestra will be good. Yeah, I don't have an issue with either of them. I'll say that I haven't considered really owning Palmer and Palestra myself, but I can't say they're bad options at all. Ampadu over Sangare. I don't hate it. Diop over Davis. Yeah, I don't hate either of those. That's just like, they're very minute things, personal preference. I think Ampadu and Diop are both fine. Marauder says, Thiago, Havertz, João Pedro, Bruno, Mbermo, Sobo, Solis, Gibbs White, Maguire, Williams, Calafiori, Humo, Riley, Kinski, Verbruggen. Wow. What a ridiculous, ridiculous team. So good. I mean, that's what happens when you drop Erling Haaland. Like, what a well-rounded team that is. Ryan Gardner says, hello, Ross. Contemplating a big change / Mar panic. Thiago, Semenyo, Palmer, Raya versus Haaland, Njai, Lefevre, Bruggen. Thiago, Semenyo, Palmer, Raya versus Haaland, Njai, Lefevre, Bruggen. I mean, the top combination looks unbelievable. It's just if Haaland goes big, then and like you've got Enzo Lefebvre and Njai who could also do well. I think I still prefer the Haaland combo, Ryan, but I can absolutely get behind you wanting to go for a combination that doesn't involve Erling Haaland, because like that money gets spread around so well. I would trust your gut feeling, to be honest, Ryan. Njai and Hume or Solis and Leif Davis, the rest are locked. Njai and Hume or Solis and Leif Davis? I think Solis and Davis for me. Hey Ross, thoughts on De Kuiper? I think he starts game week 1, but I don't know that. And I think he'll get an early sub regardless. And long term, he's not nailed. So I think you could... For me, I wouldn't be going with Hume and De Kuiper, because I just think you're looking at two players that will become issues at some point. I prefer Rodon and Aya. Or even Kadioglu if you want to stick with Brighton. Do Soboslai to Solis to get Muhramovic for Rodon? Solis and Muhramovic or Soboslai Rodon? I actually might prefer Solis and Muhramovic, yeah. Would you bench boost with Kinski, Sharda, Muhramovic and Kadioglu? Yeah, it's an unbelievable bench boost. Gross or Gomez? If you've got the money, I think Gross is better than Gomez. Hinshelwood, Buendia, Njai or Gross? Thoughts? On paper, Njai is probably best or Gross for the saving. I love Hinshelwood, and I think Buendia is very underrated. It comes down to personal preference at the end of the day there, but I think probably Pascal Gross and save 0.5 million is the on paper best thing to do there. Mbermo and Rodon or Muhramovic, Sobo and 0.5 million in the bank? I think Mbermo and Rodon. I think Mbermo's got very high upside for the opening fixtures. Gross and Sangare or Gomez and Sharda? Gross and Sangare or Gomez and Sharda? Gross and Sangare will tick along so much better for points. Like total points, they probably might even do better, but they're not going to have that same ceiling. Whereas Gomez and Sharda, I think they have a very high... I would go Gomez and Sharda, just about. Would you do for Bruggen and Davis and 0.5 in the bank or Sherp and De Kuiper? It's pronounced De Kuiper. Okay, De Kuiper, sorry. Or Kadioglu and 0.0 in the bank. Already have Raya and playing bench boost 1 wildcard 6. So Sherp and De Kuiper versus for Bruggen, Davis and 0.5 in the bank. I think Verbruggen, Davis, and a bit of money in the bank. Yeah, Verbruggen, Davis, and a bit of money in the bank, I think, would be the way I would lean. So, guys, you've got under an hour till the deadline. Still not enough time to panic. Something that I would say is don't risk leaving your team till the last second. Because the FPL site, they might have improved it, but it does have a history of crashing as the deadline approaches. So just don't leave everything to last minute. I would try within like 15 minutes of the deadline, I'd try to be fairly locked in. Also, if you're trying to play the bench boost, make sure the bench boost chip is actually active. Don't make the mistake of forgetting. We are so back. Good to see you, Ross. Thank you, Bizzle UK. I appreciate it. Bench boost 2 strat. Thoughts? Kinski, Rushworth, Calafiori, Maguire, Ballard, Rodon, Thomas, Lafie, Bruno, Mbermo, Solis, Gross, João Pedro, Haaland, DCL. Unreal. I honestly think Gross versus Sangare is extremely close. It's extremely close. I am tempted to go Pascal Gross, I'm not going to lie. I just think he needs a penalty, really, for me to want him, and he could get that. But I've got Mamadou Sangare as a guy that I think will tick along really nicely with Defcon. But I can see why you would want to go Pascal Gross for sure. That's a really nice team, Bizzle UK. I've not got any criticism. I like the Rushworth pick. I like the defenders. Looks good. Yibbing says, has become a Rap Tier 1 member. Thank you very much, Yibbing. I appreciate it. Ed says, bro, I trust your judgment. I've got Soboslai in the team, and I like it. But I can bring in Mbermo for him, which would mean Triple United, would you? It depends where you're sacrificing a million. I think Mbermo is a better pick than Soboslai, absolutely. So if you can get Mbermo in without sacrificing, I would do it. But a million goes a long way. Like, if you're telling me that it's like Maguire and Soboslai or Leif Davis and Mbermo, then maybe I would prefer the Sobo and Maguire combo. So where that million comes from is very important. Is Anderson not underrated? Who else and why? Anderson's very underrated, yeah. He's very solid. He'll still get Defcon. He might have a bit more attacking license at Man City as well. I don't know. I just think there are maybe 3 better Man City players. Like, if Nico Riley looks brilliant, Haaland's great, and Phil Foden pops off, I'm like, well, I don't really want a Man City spot on Elliot Anderson. So that's the one reason I'm not really looking there. James says, Big Man Ross, love the new graphics. Thank you very much. I'm not going with Bench Boost 1/2. In fact, my bench is a 4 million graveyard spot. Am I Illiman the Skiller Man or Illiman the Silly Man? I shouldn't laugh that much at your terrible joke. Am I Illiman the Skilly Man or Illiman the Silly Man? Oh, that's made me laugh. What was the question? I'm just laughing. I'm not going with Bench Boost 1, 2. No, that's fine. You said you've got a 4 million graveyard spot, though. Surely there are loads of 4 million defenders that aren't. I assume actually you mean your goalkeeper 4 million. Okay. It's fine. I don't think you need to bench boost Game Week 1 and 2 by any means. Great to see your relaxing face again on the deadline stream. Relaxing, I don't know about that. Struggling 3, Mosquera /Wyatt, Muhrovic /Rodon, Diop /Davis. And can you please explain? I think both White and Mosquera will eventually become minutes risk, so why not go for Ben White, who has more upside? So Ben White. Muhrovic over Rodon, he is a better asset for sure for the Defcon. I think he'll have more attacking threat, but he's 0.5 million more. So I need to know where that extra 0.5 comes from. Diop Davis, Diop more likely to get Defcon, Davis more likely to get an attacking return. So I think probably on paper, White, Muhrovic, Diop is probably the strongest combo. I love Leif Davis, which is why I've gone for him, because I would kick myself if Leif Davis does really well on Bench Boost 1 and I didn't go there. Jay says, yo, you're back. Why Hinshelwood over Gross? Gut feeling, love Hinshelwood. Nothing wrong with Pascal Gross. What about Enzo Lafie? Really like Enzo Lafie. I just don't have unlimited spots in the team, but I like Enzo Lafie. Is Solis fixed for you? Not fixed, but I think I'll end up with him probably. And off the back of preseason, Davis or Diop. Sorry for all the questions. That's okay. Davis or Diop? Like, basically, so the back 4 is probably going to be, or the 3 assets that you want to choose from. No, I mean, you can have any of them. Greaves will start at centre-back probably with Diop. So it'll be Greaves and Diop as the centre-backs, O'Shea at right-back, and Davis at left-back. Normally, when everyone's fit, O'Shea and Diop will be the centre-backs. And therefore, I think O'Shea at right-back might actually have more attacking threat, but less likely to get Defcon probably. Diop has never been great for DEFCON, but probably has the most chance right now. And then Leif Davis is just an attacking monster. So I'm going to chase the upside that he might get a clean sheet and attacking return, which he probably, almost definitely will not. Same team except Muhramovic and Aya for Ballard and Rodon. Yeah, love that. I just love Big Dan Ballard. I've had him all pre-season. Literally since the game launched, I've put Dan Ballard in and haven't taken him out. And I'm going to have him in there for sure. Dan Ballard's as locked as it gets. Konsa, cheap way into the Arsenal defence. Konsa hasn't played a single minute of pre-season, so he will not be a good option to start the season. He absolutely will not start for Arsenal in Game Week 1. Is Tarkowski being slept on? Probably. He's 6 million's expensive, though, and I think Everton will struggle once again this season. They were actually the 4th worst defence in the league last season, Everton. So I don't think there'll be tons of clean sheets, and I just think he's a bit expensive. Thoughts on Saka Game Week 1? I can't promise you that he starts or gets good minutes. I don't think I would. Solis, KDH, Lafille together. Yeah, I like those 3. I just think I'd rather Solis or Erdegaard early doors than take a risk on quite an expensive Bukayo Saka. Xerax says, hi Ross, Game Week 1 bench boost and Game Week 3 wildcard. And it's a no Haaland draft. Looks beautiful. Suggestions, love. Thank you very much. No. No Xerax. I don't have any suggestions. It's just a really nice team. Really nice team. I can see a 0-0 between Palace Everton in Game Week 1. Yeah, I can absolutely see that as well, now that you say it. What did I predict, actually? My predictions will slide around in about 15 seconds bottom left of the screen. The next graphic will be my prediction. I can't remember what I predicted for Palace Everton. But I could see 0-0. I think I predicted a bit of a goal fest, if I remember rightly, which is funny. Here it is. No, I predicted 1-1. Okay, yeah, that seems more right. David says, bench boost 1, Ryan Lamans, Calafiori Maguire, Gvardiol, Ballard, Vuskovic, Lafille, and Burmo Solis, Soboslai, Dango, João Pedro, Haaland, Calvert-Lewin. I think on bench boost 1, I wouldn't have Vuskovic. And I'm really sorry if Vuskovic does really well, but I just think I would go elsewhere. Like, you've got Lamans and Vuskovic. I would maybe go for Bruggen instead of Lamans, and then you've got 5.5 to spend on that Vuskovic spot if you want to. Or you can use the 0.5 million elsewhere, David. I think that's the only player there that I would have slight reservations, because I can't promise you that he starts. He probably does, but it could be Duncan Strauch. It could be Duncan Buscagli. Like, I think early doors, he is going to be a slight minutes risk. Level up, Dan. I've got your team. Bench boost 1. You think it is too risky? No? I mean, let's read out the risky picks that you've got, Dan. Havertz, think he starts, and even if he doesn't, it'll come off the bench. Gakpo, actually probably slightly underrated. If he does stay at Liverpool, he's been pretty good. Schade not really a risk. Elliot Anderson, I suppose, is a marginal risk. There's a chance he doesn't start. I think he will. Kirkes, I think Kirkes is a nice cheeky pick, actually. Like, there's not many people looking at him. That's it. Like, there's no really huge risks with that team, Dan. I think it looks good. O'Reilly, Lafille, Brobby, or O'Shea, Gross, Isak. Do you have Thiago, Matthew? Because I would say a 5 million defender, Pascal Gross and Thiago would be my favourite combo, but that's not what you've asked me. So if I'm literally just answering between these two, I would say probably O'Shea, Gross, Isak is slightly better. Have you seen FPL Villain's predicted team? It's dire. Is it actually? Let's have a look. What's that? Oh my goodness. Garnacho as the 9. Guys, can you smell that? No, Garnacho's going to wipe out my Verbruggen clean sheet now. That is quite something. Now, interestingly, Hemmings at 4.5 million.
One left.
Hemmings could be a cheeky punt on bench boost if you want to go with a cheap player early doors, but that honks.
Well, I don't think Garnacho's always going to play as a 9 if he is going to play as a 9.
No, Garnacho, I think this is wrong.
Yeah,
I don't think Garnacho starts name, but I just don't think Garnacho will start. I don't know who's going to play as the 9, though. Maybe try Tyrone Mings. That is a state, an absolute state. Any Arsenal lineup leaks? Not yet, but we've got 45 minutes. Plenty of time. Yeah, that's a bit honking. Age of Autumn says, happy FPL day, Ross. Happy FPL day to you as well. Yeah, we're back. Thoughts on my Bench Boost 1 team? Nice. Gonzalo Garcia. I think at points this season, he will be in pretty much everyone's team, Gonzalo Garcia. I think that's really nice. Really solid. Is there anything I could criticize of that team? I mean, no. Your only pick that isn't like super strong and kind of obvious picks is Gonzalo Garcia. And if you've got a gut feeling on him, go for it. 1976 Robin has become a Rap Tier 2 member. Thank you very much. Why are you picking the more injury-prone Ballard over Hume? Ballard, I think, has more goal threat than Hume, even though Hume is playing in a more attacking role. I just think Ballard is monstrous from set pieces. He's definitely better for DEFCON. I think he's more nailed when he's fit. And listen, if Ballard gets injured, I'll just switch him to another 5 million defender. I think there are loads of really good ones. In fact, I might end up doing that anyway after Game Week 3. I might get like a Van Hecker or a Vuskovic in. So I would rather take the risk on a player that I think is just better overall, personally. Hi, Bench Boost 1, Kinski, Verbruggen, Gabriel, Calafiori, O'Reilly, Maguire, Rodon, Bruno Fernandes, Mbermo, Soboslai, Zolis, and Jaya, Thiago, JP, DCL. 0.5 million emergency route to Haaland. I'm not fully convinced by Nico O'Reilly. He's the only pick that I'm not sure on, just because I don't know about his minutes. And he's 6.5 million. To not be sure on his minutes isn't great. But I think outside of that, it's a lovely team. And if you want to go for it, and you don't, if in your head you hadn't even considered that Nico O'Reilly was a risk, then just maybe carry on. Maybe it's just me overthinking it. I do have a bit of a tendency to overthink. Right, guys, on the poll, 66% of you are bench boosting in Game Week 1, 15% are bench boosting in Game Week 2, which means in terms of at least the people watching this stream, 80% of people will have played their bench boost going into Game Week 3. So it's definitely a popular strategy. It might be like this every single season, especially if bench boost 1 or 2 go well. I think every season people will just look to get out the way early doors. Calix says, Gabriel Schade, Aya, or Raya Rogers, Muhremovic. Ooh. Raya Rogers, Muhremovic sounds great. I want to go with that one. Ballard or Shaw? Ballard. Hi, Ross, Muhremovic and Ndiaye, or Rodon and Solis? I would just about, because this is what I've got, so it would be silly for me to not say this. I would go for Rodon and Solis, but I think that's very close. Why is Bruno a better captain than Haaland? I think it's pretty close, to be honest. I think it's very, very close. I just prefer captain midfielders, and I think Bruno's got the better fixture. And if one of them is going to get reduced minutes, you'd imagine it's Haaland. I think both of them will probably get pretty good minutes, but you never know because Haaland has only played 53 minutes of pre-season. Welcome back, Ross. Welcome back to you as well, Blizzard. I got Sangare and Rio and want a 6.5. I had Erdegaard, but he may play deeper with Bruno G out, and I don't rate Solis. I think Dango Ouattara is great, and I don't think it matters that you've got Sangare as well, because Sangare is not a goal threat, assist threat. So you need to view Sangare not as I want him to score goals for me, but I want him to get DEFCON most weeks and maybe chip in with the odd attacking return. Whereas with Dango Ouattara, you are owning him as an attacking threat. So if you don't want Erdegaard, Bruno G's out, and you don't want Solis, I would go with Dango. The other thing I'll notice, you don't need to spend 6.5 million. Like Enzo Lafie, Hinshelwood, and Jai, even go down to Pascal Gross. Like, you've got cheaper options. You don't have to spend it all in that spot. Khan, thank you for being here as always. Good to see you back. Says, hello, Ross. Good luck for the new season. How's this? Same as yours, except James Gross for Maguire Hinshelwood. Yeah, nice. Should I go for Palestra for James or get Brobby and upgrade elsewhere? I probably do prefer Palestra to James. He feels like a little bit like... James just always worries me, you know? Maybe Palestra and Gross could be nice. Or get Brobby. What's Brobby? I'm wondering where Brobby comes in, Khan, because you've not mentioned forwards, then you just mentioned Brobby. Bench boost 1 or 2. So if you've got a Chelsea defender for Maguire, and you got Gross for... It's still bench boost 1, right? I still think bench boost 1 looks stronger if your team's like mine. Bramjot says, last moment nerves are kicking in. Wildcard 7 on. 1, Calafiori or White. 2, Lacroix or Tarkovsky. Calafiori, and I actually don't mind the Lacroix shout. But probably Tarkovsky's safer to start the season. So I would say Calafiori and Tarkovsky would be my two choices. But I really don't mind Lacroix if you want to go there. Raitlin says Lamens, Hume, Soboslai, Solis, Sangare, or Raya, Shaw, Solis, Lafi, Sangare. Okay, so Solis and Sangare are in both, correct? So it's Lamens, Hume, Soboslai versus Raya, Shaw, Lafi. Lamens, Hume, Soboslai, Raya, Shaw, Lafi. Raya, Shaw, Lafi. Yeah, Raya. The Raya combo, I think, just about. You have a differential 6 million forward that's not DCL. On bench boost 1 and wildcard early, so looking for good fixtures early. High upside, willing to take risks. Brobby. Brobby's the stand-up for that, right? They've got Ipswich and Fulham in the opening 2. He's pretty nailed on, so he's not risky for minutes. And then you can move off him after that. You could look at Igor Jesus as well, but I just think Brobby's probably fits the bill for what you're asking for slightly more. Ballard or Nico Williams? I love Dan Ballard. I think Nico Williams is quite underrated, but yeah, Dan Ballard. Ornstein Boma. Oh no, what's Ornstein tweeted? Oh, Liverpool make improved second bid to sign Yankuba Minte from Brighton. Isn't he out injured for like 2 or 3 months? What? Was it shorter than that? That's crazy. Wow. Gomez might be nailed in the long term, to be fair. Yeah, Gomez could be nailed in the long term. Maybe Gomez is a nice pick. I am tempted, instead of Sangare and Rodon, to go Gomez and Muhremovic. Do I do that? Fabrizio tweet. Is it the same thing, or has Fabrizio tweeted something else? Yeah, it's the same as the Ornstein one, right? What do we think about that? Rodon Muhremovic to Sangare. Sorry. Rodon Sangare to Muhremovic Gomez. Is that bad? I'm not selling Hinshelwood Astro Travelling. I'm selling Sangare in that case. I'm going to end the poll and I'm going to run a new poll. Which combo do you prefer? Oh, do you know what I could even do? Wait, let me Rodon Davis Sangare. Rodon Aya Gomez. Or I could do Muhremovic Davis Gomez. What I could do, guys, I just thought, is rather than upgrade Rodon, if I went Sangare to Gomez, I could upgrade Leif Davis to Aya. Maybe that's better. So it'd be Davis and Sangare to Aya and Gomez. Right, there's a poll there. Because then I've got a really functional defense. Do Do you know what I mean? Leaf will punish you. You said don't let you change. Yeah, I know. I can't help myself. But I do wonder if that I think that is a much better team. Because like all of a sudden then like Aya is genuinely playable in some of these weeks. Whereas like Leaf Davis after bench boost 1 I just don't really want. It's giving you benching headaches every week. It's not though. Because Maguire's not got a great fixture in 4. Ballard's not got a great fixture in 4 or 5. Don't love him in 3. I don't know why I'm changing last minute, but I don't mind that as a play. I just don't love Gomez and Hinshelwood, to be honest. Like having both of them in there feels like, because again, if Brighton don't score, if Villa beat Brighton 1-0 and I've got Verbruggen, Gomez, Hinshelwood, it doesn't feel great. Let me get back to answering your questions because I'm a bit behind again. Ballard, Nico Williams said Ballard. Hi Ross, hope you're doing well. Is Maguire that much better than Shaw? I do prefer him, yes. If the 0.5 that you save gets you Lamans to Raya, though, in your case, Jack, maybe it's worth it. But Maguire is categorically better than Luke Shaw for me, yeah. Aya Shaw Hume or Solis to Sharda to get Ballard? Aya Shaw Hume or Solis to Sharda? I would just go with Aya. Shawnak, got your team. Hi, Ross. Hope you are great. Team is Ryo, Robbo, Shaw, Calafiori, Bruno, Captain Semenyo, Soboslai, Bumo, Solis, Pedro, Isak. Bench of Verbruggen, Palestra, Rodon, DCL. Bench boost 1, free hit 3, wildcard 6. Any suggestions? FPL is back. Robbo, Shaw, Calafiori, Bruno, Semenyo, Soboslai, Bumo, Solis. Pedro, Isak. It's a great team. Is there anything I can suggest there? No, again, I'm not a massive fan of Luke Shaw, but he's fine as a cheap asset into the Man United defense. I think it's good. Good team. Colombo with this huge super chat just says, good luck, mate. Thanks for all the preseason content. Big love. Thank you so much, Colombo. That's ridiculously kind. Oh, I'm so wondering about that now. Do you know what? Let me answer a few more questions, then I'll jump over to Hub and do a bit of planning ahead, I think, because I need to look at the team and the rotations. The Godlock says, thoughts on this 11? Great. Caicedo's not a bad pick. I think Caicedo's actually slightly underrated. Ballard's nice. Calafiori, Bruno Fernandes, Solis. It's great. It's very similar to mine in structure, which isn't a bad thing. You just got a couple of different picks in there, the Godlock, so I like it. Kiev Neighbor says, I've got your team. Bench boost 1, wildcard 3. Any changes you would make? No, I don't. Like, I feel bad saying no because then what was the point in asking me? But no, I can't see anything obvious. Like, I actually think Thiago would be a player that I would want, but then you'd have to drop Isak, and I know people want Isak, so no, that's a fine team. Jack Walker says, no Haaland, likely wildcard 3, Ryan Maguire, Palestra, Sharda, or Lamans, O'Reilly, White, Sangare. Ryan Maguire, Palestra, and Sharda, I prefer. Jack. Yeah, I like Palestra, I like Sharda, Maguire's good, Raya's elite. Yeah, it's good. Best 4.5 defenders for bench boost 2. Shaw, Aya, Rodon, bench boost 2. I mean, Luke Shaw's not bad on bench boost 2. And then Aya. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind Rodon either, to be fair, against Brentford at home. I would probably say Aya and Rodon still, honestly. Where's good to see you, my friends. There's another season, Ross. Hope to see you with a tie around your head in Liverpool again soon, mate. Yeah, let's not discuss that. That was a night where I had slightly too much alcohol, Wes. By the way, that kebab shop, if you're wondering why, was it the FCAs in Liverpool? I had a little bit too much drink at the Football Content Awards in Liverpool a couple of years ago and ended up with a tie around my head. So there we go. Anyway, moving on swiftly. Bruno, Thiago and Gabriel or Xhaka, Rodgers and Haaland. Have a pint on me, fella. Thank you very much, my man. Oh, Bruno, Thiago, Gabriel, Xhaka, Rodgers, Haaland. That is a ridiculously difficult one. I think Bruno, Thiago, Gabriel. It has to be Bruno, Thiago, Gabriel. Where's there, I think. Thoughts on Semenyo? Really nice pick. I think he is marginally overpriced, but for what you're going to get from him, but I think he's really still a really nice pick. 1976 Robin says, Happy New Season. Thoughts on Kinski, Verbruggen, Gabriel, Ballard, Maguire, Aya, Imbermo, Bruno, Soboslai, Solis, Semenyo, Thiago, JP, Probby, Bench Boost 1, Wildcard 3 strategy. Yeah, lovely. Kinski, Verbruggen, Gabriel, Ballard, Maguire. Great team. Yeah, I like the Brobby pick as well instead of Calvert-Lewin. You're fine doing that. Very nice team, Robin. I like it. What is your league code? It's down there. Look there. SON7DO. Right below me. Mr. Rodbod. Hi, Ross. Thoughts? Great team. Foden in there. And again, I still don't mind Foden. Ruben Diaz, not sure on. Luke Shaw, not sure on. I think for me, if that was my team, I would do Shaw to Maguire and Ruben Diaz to Muharemovic or Van Hecker or someone like that. And then you'd have 0.5 million to play with. I'm not a huge fan of Ruben Diaz, but other than that, it's a nice team. If going Gomez, then Hinshelwood to Lafie. Double Brighton mids are risky. I don't want to get rid of Hinshelwood. I'd be really upset if I got rid of him and he did well. I've just got a gut feeling on him. So it would be double Brighton mids if I went Gomez. Good luck, Ross. Thoughts on my team? Really nice team, Christopher. Yeah. So you're not playing the bench boost, which is absolutely fine. It's allowed you to get a really, really good team. To be fair, mate, what a team. The fact that you're not playing the bench boost and you've taken money out of that third forward spot, that has allowed you to get such a strong starting 11. I think you're good to lock your team in, Christopher. Thoughts on Semenyo? I did that, didn't I? Where have I? I feel like I've... Yeah, I'm back there. Okay. Got 0.5 in the bank. Use it for Muharemovic to White? No. Or Sharda to Dango? No. Or Gomez to Gross? I probably would keep it. Gomez to Gross is the one place I think you could use it, John Tango. Other than that, I think you're good to go. The correct opinion says Vuskovic or Camvo, worried about minutes. Yeah, if you want just a nailed-on player, Camvo's going to be nailed on. The Scan Legend, I've got your team. Anything you change, Muharemovic to Rodon and get Maguire. I do prefer marginally Maguire and Rodon to Muharemovic and Shaw, but it's one of those where it could be a horrible swing and you might regret it, but I don't know. I do think that could be the play. Funnily enough, mine is Verbruggen, Rodon, Gabriel, Aya, Lafie, Gomez, Fernandez, and Burmo, Brobby, Haaland, João Pedro. Okay, that's a very nice team. Yeah, I don't mind the punt on Brobby again. As you say, space time. Like, I like Calvert-Lewin a lot, but going for Brobby or Igor Jesus is absolutely acceptable. Raya and Van Dijk versus Verbruggen and Gabriel. Ooh. Raya and Van Dijk. It's actually quite nice. Geordie EMS says, Hi Ross, bench boost 1, wildcard 3. Kelleher, Verbruggen, Gabriel, Maguire, Calafiori, O'Shea, Ballard, Bruno, and Burmo, Solis, Njai, Lafie, JP, Isaac, Thiago. Any suggestions? Nice team. Nice team. I'm very jealous of Gabriel. I like that you got Njai and Lafie. I think they're both good. It's a great team, Geordie. I don't have any massive changes that I would make to that or any issues. Hi, mate. Virgil and Hume or Ballard and a 6 million defender? I would go Ballard and another 5 and then spend the million elsewhere. I don't think there are any 6 million defenders that I desperately want. So I would go Ballard and Maguire or Ballard and Vuskovic. No, not Vuskovic, really. Ballard and Van Hecker. Ballard and Muharemovic. And then spend the million elsewhere in the team. Would be the way that I would do it. I really like Virgil van Dijk, but I prefer the 5 million. So if you can get Van Dijk and a 5 million somehow, then great. But that combo, I'd prefer 2 5s. What I wanted to do, just briefly... is if I do Sangare to Gomez and then Leif Davis to Aya. Make transfers. I just want to see how this changes the rotation, just quickly. So the good thing is I don't need either of them against Chelsea. And in fact, I mean, that works really well. That works really well, actually. In Game Week 2, I can play a back 4 or a back 5. So I don't need... Like, it might be that I decide to play Gomez or Hinchwood, but I don't need them for their toughest fixture, right? Game Week 3, then, I can come in for Sunderland when Rodon's not got the best fixture. I can even play a 4 there, but then I've got Gomez that can come in here. That works really well again. I can even bench Solis and João Pedro. That's very nice again. Game Week 4. Sorry, guys. I'm just working out if this new rotation would work. And to be honest, it does very well. That's such a better setup than what I had. It's just Gomez over Sangare. And I lose Leif Davis. If Leif Davis scores, I'm going to actually sob if I go without him. But I can't pick my Game Week 1 team just because I love Leif Davis. You know, I think this combination's so much better. Then Game Week 5 is the final week. This is the one week where I imagine it might not be perfect. But no, it is. It works. I just have to play Hinshelwood or Gomez. But even Sangare had Chelsea. I think I need to do that. I can always go back. I was hovering over it as though it was like a season like clinching one, but I know, like, I love Leif Davis, guys, but that is a better combo, like, surely. Zodiac, you're saying it's literally 1 week, but that's kind of the point of, like, it isn't only 1 week. Because, like, I could, if I go with Aya, right, there's loads of weeks where I could play him. I just need to screenshot my new team if I do go with that. Leaf guaranteed goal. It's a bit too Brighton heavy. It is, but they've got Leeds and Coventry in 2 of those weeks, and they're also a very decent team. I do get what you mean, though, for sure. I don't disagree. It doesn't feel great. Double Brighton attack is meh. Yeah, but it was Sangare was the other player I was with, right? Sangare's not an attacker, really. He's a DEFCON guy. This is the thing, like, I don't disagree at all, but it's not like I took out a really attacking player for another team and put in Gomez. I took out Sangare. I just wonder if this is a slightly better setup. Laffy over Hinshelwood. I could do, but I just prefer Hinshelwood. I'm going to stick with Hinshelwood. I'm not getting rid of Hinshelwood. I'm on that. Zodiac, I'm not going to lie, you confuse me more than the deadline stream with some of your messages. You always say the deadline stream to me, but the way that you word it is like so... just like what you're saying is 100% right. It confuses me more. Hi, mate. Virgin and Humour. I did that one, didn't I? Salah, I've got your team. Game Week 1 team on Bench Boost 1 Wildcard 4. Okay. Looks good. Yeah, looks really good. Any Gakpo? Still not fully there on. Igor Jesus? Maybe not fully nailed. O'Reilly, Gakpo, Igor Jesus, I wouldn't pick. And Garcia. I feel like the forward line could be a little bit stronger, is my personal opinion on it. But again, I don't want to put you off of picking players that you feel good about. So if you feel good about them, stick with them. Like, people keep telling me, all I've had to deal with all week is people telling me not to pick Hinshelwood, and it's annoying. So, like, if you like certain picks, then you keep them, you know? You're all good, Zodiac. It's just like you said it in you say it in such like a confident way. You're like, you're doing that wrong. You need to do this, and I'm like, and then it makes me panic because I'm like, what if I am? You know, I'm already second guessing constantly. Laffy, Tavernier, Njaya for bench boost 2 can rotate with Sharda. Laffy, Tavernier, Njaya for bench boost 2. Probably Laffy can rotate with Sharda. I don't know about the rotations between those two. I would go Enzo Lafite just about for me. Why are all FPL YouTubers now captaining Bruno? Is there news? I've been on Bruno captain the entirety of pre-season. I've said that I'll probably captain Bruno, so I don't know. I've not heard anything. If there was news that there was Haaland was out, then I wouldn't vice captain him and I'd get rid of him, you know? So no, there's no news. I just think Bruno's great. Keenan says, bench boost 1, Kinski, Verbruggen, Calafiori, White, Maguire, Troom, De Kuyper, I should say. Bruno, Soboslai, Solis, Lafite, Gross, Haaland, João Pedro, DCL. Great team. Yeah, really nice, solid structure there. No major concerns from me. Please tear it apart. No, I don't want to. It looks good. I can't really tear it apart. Minte to Liverpool, 60 million is done. Thoughts? Well, he's out for 2 to 3 months. So when he gets back from his injury, then I think Minte could be an interesting option at Liverpool. I think it's a good signing if he can stay fit. I think Yankuba Minte is incredibly talented. Thoughts on Ismail Assar? I don't mind him. I probably prefer Dango and Solis, but I don't mind Sarr. Curry TV1 says, bench boost 2. Kinski, Ballard, Shaw, 09, Aya. Bench boost 2 with 09 is not a good one. Because 09, I don't think will start game week 2. He might not even start game week 1. I think you have to change 09 to Thomas. Sharda, Bruno, Mbermo, Solis, Gomez, Isak, Pedro, Haaland. I mean, it arguably looks more like a bench boost 1. That looks like a bench boost 1 team, Curry. You've got 09 in there. You've got Gomez in there. I don't know. That looks like a bench boost 1 team to me. Unless you meant to type bench boost 1. But I would lean towards 1 with that team. Or change the players so that it toots? So that it suits 2 better. Morgan says, Kinski, Verbruggen, Maguire, Calafiori, Ballard, Aya, Van Uyck, Mbermo, Bruno, Solis, Lafite, Gross, DCL, Erling, Pedro. Thoughts on team and when could I bench boost? When could you bench boost? Lovely team. I would basically just do either Van Uyck to an Ipswich defender and bench boost in game week 1. So Van Uyck to O'Shea, Diop, Davis, or do Verbruggen to Petrovic and bench boost in 2, or Rushworth. You basically need to change one of Verbruggen or Van Uyck and then commit to a bench boost 1 or bench boost 2. Confused Link says, love the content. Thank you very much. Thoughts on bench boost 2 with Lamans, Kinski, Gabriel, Maguire, Calafiori, Lafite, Mbermo, Soboslai, Solis, Haaland, João Pedro, and Thiago. Great team. Bench boost 2. Yeah, suits the team as well. Yeah, lovely. 10 out of 10. Nice team. I like it, Confused Links. Richarlison versus DCL versus Brobby and Palestra versus Gvardiol versus Ballard. I mean, I'm going to be biased because they're the 2 that I've got, but I think DCL and Ballard are the 2 best there. Brobby or DCL, wildcard 3? I mean, if you're on wildcard 3, maybe Brobby. Maybe Brobby for wildcard 3. Gross or Sangare, game week 1 when you have no Brighton bench boost 1? I think Gross versus Sangare is a coin flip. Maybe go Pascal Gross because he probably will start again. And he has higher upside because he can score a pen. While Mary Gaming says, hey Ross, I have 2 6.5 mids, Solis and Anderson. Is that a bad structure price point wise? No. The reason I like the 6.5 mids is if any of the 6 million mids look good, you can easily downgrade. So I think it's actually quite nice starting with 2 6.5 mids. Kinski, Maguire or Shaw and Lamans? Kinski and Maguire. Buendia or Njai? I actually really like Emi Buendia, but I think Iliman Njai is a better pick. Thoughts and changes on the following, please. Lamans, Gabriel, Calafiori, Shaw, Soboslai, Lafite, and Jai, Bruno, Haaland, Pedro, Calvert-Lewin. No changes. Great team. Yeah, I mean, it's just a superish... I don't want to say super templates, that sounds rude, but it's a team that a lot of other people have a very similar team to. It's quite similar to mine, and it looks good. I mean, we're talking about very minute changes here, like changing... Like, I would probably change Luke Shaw to Rodon. But these are very minor things that I just don't think it's worth necessarily suggesting that you should, because all I'm doing is just making your team look more like my team, which I feel bad about, you know? Thanks, Ross. Start Lafite or Sharda? I mean, surely you have to start both. If you're benching one of them, then you should play your bench boost. If you've got Lafie or Sharda on the bench, that needs to be a bench boost team, I think. If you have to only start one, I don't think you can bench Lafie on pens against Ipswich. Who to bench for Game Week 1? Lafie, DCL or Sharda? Why have people got such strong benches and just not bench boosting? Now, Lafie, DCL, and Sharda all have to be in your team, surely. I think that's a bench boost. Again, it's probably Sharda that you don't start, but that doesn't feel great. 15 million pod says Kinski, O'Shea, Semenyo, Solis, or Roofs. Or Roofs, Calafiori, Soboslai, Lafie. Roofs, Calafiori, Soboslai, Lafie is the better one for me. Thor says bench boost 1 Verbruggen, Lamens, Shaw, Ballard, Tarkovsky, VVD, White, Foden, Erdegaard, Solis, Hinchwood, and Burmo, Haaland, DCL, João Pedro. I love that team, Thor. It's quite a unique team, actually. Like Foden, Erdegaard, quite unique. Shaw, again, is not my favourite, but I don't mind. Tarkovsky and Van Dijk and White rather than Calafiori. I'm glad you've still got Hinchwood. Makes me feel a bit better, Thor, but yeah, it's a nice team. Hey mate, is Isak nailed on? Likely to play 90. He won't play 90, but he's nailed on to start games at the moment because they don't have anyone else. Unless they play Gakpo, Ekatike's out. Yeah, Isak's nailed on to start. Just I don't think he'll see the full game out. Soboslai and Gross or Wirtz and Gomez? Soboslai and Gross. I think. Yeah, Soboslai and Gross is the safer pairing. Wirtz and Gomez have high upside, though. Final one, Sharda or Lafie, need to play game week 1 to 3. If Lafie gets a pen, then he's going to end up being a better pick, but Sharda's got more from open play. It depends how much you like penalty takers. I think it's very close. I would marginally lean Kevin Sharda, but there's not a lot in it. Jay says, hi Ross, bench boost 1, Kinski, Verbruggen, Calafiori, Maguire, Muhramovic, Aya Davis, Bruno, Mbermo, Lafie, Solis, João Pedro, Calvert-Lewin, Haaland. Great team. Yeah, nothing negative to say. It's very, very, very similar to my team. We're talking about like 3 players that are different. So yeah, I'm a big fan of it, of course, Jay. Is Rodon better than Robertson? I just worry that Robertson's not nailed once Udogi comes back. I haven't actually seen the latest on Udogi's injury length, but Robertson's got a decently high ceiling on his day, so I don't mind Andy Robertson. Welcome back, Ross. Thank you. I appreciate that. Going for bench boost 1, hoping to avoid wildcard till the international break at least. Pick 2 out of these for me. Lafie, Njai, Stack, Sharda, Scott, Gross, Buendia, and Tell. Probably, I think Lafie and Sharda would be the 2 that I would pick. And I would also say that Njai and Gross are good picks too. So my top 4, Lafie, Njai, Sharda, Gross. I would go for Lafie and Sharda if it was my team. But that's just my own biased opinion. Buggy Board says, is Rodon better than Robertson? Bench boost game week 2. Oh, I did that one. I lost where I was there. Bruno says, Lamens, Kinski, Maguire, White, Calafiori, Gvardiol, Ballard, Solis, Bruno Fernandes, Semenyo, Soboslai, Gross, Isak, Thiago, JP. Lovely team. Yeah, super, super strong, safe, sensible team, Bruno. I like that a lot. Nasha United says, hi, Ross. Okay, I've got your team, Nasha. Great. Van Hecker is a pick that I really do like. Tarkovsky, again, sneaking into more and more teams. Iliman and Jaya, like. Soboslai is nice, solid pick. Like, that's a really good, well-rounded team. I also really love that you've got Thiago. Obviously, no Haaland, but the rest of the team is so strong. Yeah, again, as long as you're happy going with no Haaland, it's a very, very strong overall team. Thoughts on my no bench boost draft? Raya, Still, Calafiori, Maguire, Ballard, Rodon Thomas, Bruno Soboslai, Njai, Lafie, Slater, Haaland, Isak, DCR. I mean, it's a brilliant team. Honestly, Matthew, I think you still need a stronger bench. Even if you're not bench boosting, you need at least one player that you're happy coming on most weeks. Even if it's just trying to get Thomas to a 4.5 defender or get Slater up to a 5.5. Because right now, you're having to start Rodon every week. If anyone picks up an injury, you immediately have to sell them because you've got no cover. Like, you're having to start Maguire and Ballard every week, which means you're going to have to start Maguire against Man City and Ballard against Arsenal and City. Or make transfers. It just feels like it's too It just feels like it's too much in the 11 and not enough rotational options, would be my opinion on it. CPFC197 says, I don't want Maguire, Shaw to cover clean sheet or Raya. I don't want Maguire, Shaw to cover clean sheet or Raya. I just think Aya is a better pick than Luke Shaw, probably. Scan Legend, I've got your team. Anything here that stands out? Bench boost 1, wildcard 3 or 5? No. Nothing stands out. No, there's not a single pick there that I think you should be worried about. So yeah, if you want anything that stands out, any errors, nothing. I think you're all good. Bench boost 1, Hume and Solis, or in 09 and Soboslai. Don't need the defender after Game Week 1, and Soboslai seems more safe in the long run, but 09 some starting risk for Game Week 1. Hume and Solis, or 09 and Soboslai. I think Human Solace would be the one that I would go for. Are you bench boosting Game Week 1? Yes. Better upside for the first 5, Solace or Sharda. Both very high upside. I really like Kevin Sharda, but I'm going for Solace. Bench 1 of Muhremovic, Aya, Gross. This week, Aya. I think you're going to bench one of them. Skrez says, Raya, Kinski, Calafiori, Ballard, Vuskovic, Muhremovic, O'Shea, Mbermo, Solis, Semenyo, Vert, Sangari, Igor Jesus, Haaland, João Pedro. Assuming you're bench boosting 1, my only concern is that I don't know that Vuskovic is fully nailed on to start. I think he should, but that would worry me slightly, that you don't know that he's going to start. Wow, Mary Gaming has become a Rap Tier 1 member. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. DDN Dexter. By the way, you've got less than 10 minutes till the deadline. I should have given you a warning. Get those teams locked in. Hi, Ross. Going with a non-Bruno bench boost 1 team and trying to go with one of these 2 options. Lamans, Gabriel, Gross, O'Reilly, Rodon, or Raya, Maguire, Semenyo, Ballard, Muhremovic. Lamans, Gabriel, Gross, O'Reilly, Rodon, Raya, Maguire, Semenyo, Ballard, Muhremovic. I think I prefer the Raya combination, DDN Dexter. Yeah, the Raya combination just about, but it's very close. Lamans, Muhremovic, Soboslai, or Kinski, Aya, and Burmo. Wow. Kinski, Aya, and Burmo just. Love the page, Ross. Thank you, Atawari. I appreciate that very much. Thank you for the kind words. Richarlison to risky. Is Richarlison too risky? Not for the first couple. I think he starts, but then they've just signed Savinho. They're looking at Marmouche. Solanke will be back. I think eventually Richarlison will be risky, but you're probably fine for the first couple. Blackgear95 says, review my team. Bench boost 2. Kinski, Verbruggen, Calafiori, Shaw, White, Aya, Van Uwijk, Sharda, Solis, Bruno and Burmo, Xhaka, Haaland, João Pedro, Brobby. Replace Verbruggen with Petrovic or Rushworth, Blackgear. Because Verbruggen's got Chelsea away. It's not a great keeper to have for bench boost 2. I'd go Rushworth or Petrovic, and then you're fine. Good to go. Atawari says, bench boost Game Week 1. Okay, I've got your team. 0.5 in the bank. Any thoughts? Wow, lovely team with 0.5 in the bank. Some really nice different picks in there as well. I would just say your defense is a little bit risky. You've got Mosquera, Hume, Shaw, Kirkes, Palestra. Kirkes is probably okay, but Palestra, Hume, Mosquera, and Shaw could all conceivably lose their place. Man United are trying to sign a left back. Hume's not nailed on. They've just signed Konsa at Arsenal, and Palestra could be rotated. So there's maybe just a few too many risks in the defence, but it's so high upside with the likes of Kirkes, Palestra, Hume, that it could do very well. Florin says, Verbruggen, Kinski, Calafiori, Maguire, Rodon, Ballard, Aya, Soboslai, Solis, Bruno Fernandes, Lafille, Gross, João Pedro, Haaland, Calvert-Lewin with 0.5 in the bank. That's a lovely team. Another team with 0.5 in the bank, and I don't mind it. I actually don't think you should spend that. I think that's good. I would let that team go. It's actually surprisingly good. I mean, you've got no Brian in Burmo, which is, I suppose, how it feels quite strong, because you've just had a little bit of money tied up there. Nash United has become a Rap Tier Elite GOAT. What? Where has that come from? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. What a legend. Because I'm going to tell Ross to look at X, 1828. What do you mean? Why am I looking at X? Trusted source leaking at 628. Who? Team News and Ticks, okay. Okay. We might get a team leak at 628 and it's going to break the site if it's a big one. What do I want to do? If let's actually go through it here. If Solis were to be out or to not start, let's go through. Let's go through if what could change. If Solis was leaked to not start, I think I would do it Solis to Dango Watara and leave it. I think that's what I would do. If it's Calafury that we got bad news on, I would just do Calafury to White, I think. Other than that, we just wait. Why 628? Team News and Tixers on various occasions said that he doesn't like the FPL community and he thinks it's very funny to basically mug us off. He often releases it after, he's often released it at dead on 6:30. So yeah, I think he just enjoys it, which is fair, to be fair. What I will say, by the way, is my league code's there. Just SON7DO. Getting so many people in the chat. It shows that you're not looking at me. If you were looking at my big old face, you would see that there's a code just below me. It's my league code. Am I bench boosting? Yes, the bench boost is active, as evidenced by the blue, very faint line around the bench. Enjoy Lafi on bench boost. I marginally prefer Enzo Lafi. Rowan Leal says, I've got your team. Bench boost 1, wildcard 3. Lovely team. A few nice picks in there, like Enzo Lafi, Semenyo, Verts, Richarlison, Ben White, Roofs. It's a lovely team, but not too crazy with it. So I like it. Double Arsenal. Muhremovic / Solis, or triple with Rodon Sharda. Muhremovic and Solis, I think. Right, how long we got? We've got 4 minutes, 2 minutes till we potentially get news. Please do 2 things for me right now. Refresh the page, like this, and make sure your bench boost is active, your captaincy and vice captain are correctly set, if you are bench boosting, I'm assuming, and just make sure that everything is in place for you. All right? Make sure that you are locked in and that you've not made any mistakes in the lead up to the deadline. That's the only thing that I can say for now whilst we wait for potentially news at 6:28. What did the tweet say? The tweet said this. At 6:28, it will let us know. Gifty says, good to be back. Bench boost 1. See you on the other side. Is there any issues with this? Right before I would stop sending super chats, by the way, guys, because I might miss them. It's too late now, really. But that team is looking good, Gifty. I've looked at it. There's no issues. VVD, Shaw, Lafi, Gross versus Maguire, Ayer, Morgan Gibbs White, Gomez. Van Dijk, Shaw, Lafi, Gross, Maguire, Ayer. I think Maguire, Ayer, Morgan Gibbs White and Gomez, just about. Morg Boy says, should I bench boost 1 with Kinski, Maguire, Ballard and Sangare? Yeah, that's absolutely a bench boost 1, Morg Boy. Your bench boost is never going to look much better than that. The top of the tweet is cropped. Oh, that's annoying. I see what you're saying. Sorry. It's because it's set up for... It's set up for FPL where it... Okay, there you go. I mean, it's 6:28. I'll refresh. I think he just likes to have the FPL community on strings because he knows we're going to want stuff. Deck, Kai, and Saka start. Okay. Declan Rice, Kai Havertz, and Saka start. So nothing on Solis, but yeah, Rice, Saka, and Kai Havertz start. There we go. I would get your teams locked in, basically, now. You've got just over a minute until the deadline. Now you have a minute till the deadline. And I'm sure the app has a chance of not working. Useless team news, realistically. Yep. Very useless from an FPL perspective because most people don't have them. But hey-ho. Sickening how many sheep are bench boosting. Sorry, mate. Can't all be different like you crazy guy. I'm so different. Solis starts. Does he? Okay. Hand of Arsenal confirmed the team. Okay. It's going to be a bit late, to be honest, but Hand of Arsenal. Go, go, go. Miles, Erdegaard, Calafiori, White, Solis start. Good. If you've got White, Calafiori, Zolis, or Erdegaard, you are good to go. Basically, all of our Arsenal assets look like they'll be starting. That is good news to get that confirmation. Thank goodness. Right. There we are. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me for the first stream. By the way, don't leave. I'm going to carry on streaming until we get the lineups at least. So please stay. Stick around. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Site's crashed. The site hasn't crashed. It's just locked now. That is it. We're locked. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I'm going to carry on streaming, so don't leave. If you do leave, though, please subscribe on the way out. I appreciate it. Yeah, let me tweet my tweet. Tweet my tweet. Tweet my tweet. Boom, boom, boom. Check Hand of Arsenal. Yeah, already looked at Hand of Arsenal. Club team. You're damn right. You're damn right. You can actually have a look at my club team now. This is my club team. There is a link down below, by the way, to download club. Over the next hour and a half before kickoff, I highly recommend getting involved in club. It's not too late. The deadline doesn't lock for another hour 13. And by the way, you get a starter squad. So you could literally just go into Game Week 1 with your starter squad anyway, but it will still give you time to meet with Manny, get a couple of players, and sort your team out. So, yeah, there it is. There's my team. We're going to go through and meet with Manny in a second. Let's Talk FPL's gone without Haaland. Yeah, he was always going to. I don't know why anyone's shocked that Andy doesn't have Haaland. Honestly, it's quite possibly the least shocking thing that has ever happened. It was obvious from about 4 weeks ago that he'd go no Haaland. Right, let's do post on there. What is club? It's basically free to play fantasy football. So I'll show you. So you upgrade your club facilities, you upgrade your level. You've got a salary cap that you have each week, and you've also got a team. So there's week-to-week fantasy football where you go head-to-head. Like this week, I'm playing against third leg, and you basically play each other in leagues. My own league is linked down below, but the code is 3462SK7. I don't know if that's actually going to work. Oh, it did. Cool. I'll put it in the chat there. Join my league. And what you can do to get players is you meet with Manny. So here we go. We're going to have a little meet with Manny and see who we get. Terrible. Sucks. Stinks. Fulham. Muniz, who doesn't even start. Yeah, Muniz can get in the bin. I don't have enough gems either to do another meet. But basically, I highly recommend getting involved. Like I'm actually in the game as well. When you download the game, I'm the one that talks to you at the start as the director of football. But yeah, there's a link down below to download club if you haven't already. I highly recommend getting your team set up for Game Week 1. Absolutely worth doing. Sam says, club is honestly brilliant. I love it. Give it a go and you'll end up addicted like me. That is fair. That is fair. What song do we want to have on the Instagram post? Don't know. I guess I can sort that later, can't I? Pickle is in the game as well. Pickle is in the game. That is true. You okay?
My legs are cooked.
I fell apart at the end and changed my team.
Oh, what have you done?
I did Sangare to Gomez
Oh, no.
so that I could get Aya for Leaf Davis.
What? How dare you?
I just thought I wanted... I really think Aya's underpriced when he starts. He's a 4.5 defender that will defcon a lot, and he plays for Brentford, and they rotate really well with my team. And I wasn't fully convinced that Sangare had a very high ceiling. So I made a last-minute switch.
I hope
But
Gomez doesn't get injured in the 10th.
yeah, I know.
For me, for you.
Leaf Davis goal is going to break my heart. Leaf Davis goal will break my heart. Send out prayers and wishes to hope that didn't happen. Did Pickle keep the bench boost active? I think so, yeah. I can't believe the season has begun. Can you believe it? It's crazy. Leave him alone. Leave me alone. No, I'm really happy with my team, honestly. Like, genuinely, I'm happy with my team. Gomez, if he has a breakout season, will increase in price massively. I know, I just look at Gomez, and for me, he just feels like he could be underpriced. Sangare I do really like still, by the way, and I might regret not picking him, but... Yeah, I actually really like my team. Like, normally after I lock in for a deadline, I regret stuff, but I look at this team now. Like, Gomez isn't ideal. Like, he's the one, but he's 5 million, and it's unlocked the rest. I love the Hinchelwood pick. I'm very happy with my front line. I like that I've got triple Man United, double Arsenal to be aggressive. I still think Kinski and Verbruggen are a really nice pairing. And I think Ayer and Rodon, for me, are the two standout 4.5s. I look at this team, and it has everything that I'm happy with. And that's really a good feeling that I honestly don't normally have. I normally absolutely hate my team. So yeah, just having a little scroll through the socials, seeing if anything stood out. I love that you can see the managers that use models on X at the moment. The no Haaland drafts are killing me, cracking me up. It's very clear to me. It could do well though if Haaland blanks, you know, then they're off to a flying start. But him blanking on consecutive games. How much longer do you think Haaland stays at City? I don't know, at least this season, all right. What's the Pixapp icon look like, mate? Oh, yeah. Do you know what? I can actually let me quickly have a look if I can bring it up here. That watch is really annoying. There you go, I'll throw that down there. My watch I'm not wearing, it's just vibrating on the desk and it's very frustrating. Yeah, I can actually show you that right now, can't I? No, apparently I can't. Can I now? Here we go. Picks. That's not my latest picks, though. It's because I'm using my old phone to mirror. Would it have my grid games on it, though? Is this the updated version? I don't want to show you a non-updated version. Here we go. Guys, I don't actually know. Let me get the link. Guys, relax. I'm getting the link this second. If you haven't downloaded Picks, is basically an app that I founded where you can do free sports predictions, and I want you to enter a grid for the Arsenal Coventry game for me. It's completely free. It's taken like 2 years to get this app to a stage where it's ready for you guys. I would appreciate it more than you know if it's very pixelated. Yeah, it's not ideal. I know. Do you know what I could actually do? Wait, hang on a second. Let me just go on the web app. Let me go on the web app. That probably is better, isn't it? Yeah, That's much better, isn't it? Perfect. So you go onto grid game. You can enter my league, build your grid, and you basically, let me explain it nice and easily, is, bro, why should I get your app if you don't even read super chats that were sent out for deadline? Okay, I'm very close to blocking you, but I won't because I understand it can be frustrating. I try my absolute best. I apologize multiple times, and I obviously am not deliberately not reading your super chat. If you want to send a super chat, it's you supporting me and in return getting a response. If you feel like it's just paying for my reply and you don't care about anything else, then don't super chat. It really annoys me when people like pop off like that because I'm obviously not deliberately missing your super chat, and I would never do that. I feel terrible. Like that makes me feel extremely guilty, but I obviously haven't deliberately done it. So there's no need to be rude, is what I will say. Right. So you build your grid. You have 9 squares. Let me actually reset it so that I can show you. And you basically fill up with actions from shot on target, foul, assist, booking, and goal. So these are your 5 actions to choose from, and you basically make predictions. So let's go, for example, we know Bukayo Saka's starting. I want Bukayo Saka goal in my middle square, in that one there. The other reason that middle square is quite important is you get like lines if you get a multiplier. So if you get like 3 in a row, it multiplies by 2. If you get another line, it multiplies by 3. And obviously the middle square is involved in a lot of different lines. So yeah. I am going to do my grid now, but I highly recommend it. Again, I'll post that link. It's free to download on the App Store. If you're not on an iPhone or you're in a country where it's not on your App Store, like Australia, Africa, there are parts of Asia it's not there right now, then you can download the web app, or not download, but play on the web app, which is basically like, you can see I'm doing it on my computer here. It basically functions like the app. I think I want a Havertz goal as well, I think. Is my feeling on that. So let me go Havertz goal. Foul, I actually think, and by the way, the more likely an event is to occur, the less points you get, the less like the more points you'll get. So you have to work out if you want to basically predict things that are unlikely or more likely. I think I'll go for a Gabriel foul. Or should I go for a Gabriel shot on target? Yeah, Gabriel shot on target is happening. I actually might put that as my middle square. Potentially. Nah, I'm happy with Saka in my middle square. Then I'm going to go for maybe a Solis foul. I don't mind a Solis foul. Because like, if he scores, I'm happy anyway. It's not on Google Play Store yet. Yeah, not on Google Play Store. Gabriel goal is more likely. Yeah, not more likely than a shot on target, right? Because a goal would be a shot on target. But a shot on target keeps me safe, you know? Apparently Rice was starting, wasn't he? Rice assist 4 points. Feels quite plausible. Then I might go bookings. I might go a booking for Thomas. Bobby Thomas. And I might go a booking for maybe Calafiori, you know, just because it sort of covers me, where if he does well in FPL, I don't really mind as much. What's this app called again? It's called Picks. In the App Store, you can type in My Sports Picks, like that, or just use this link. I'm posting it in the chat right now. I just need 2 more things, and then I can lock it in. Shot on target. Who else could get a shot on target? I could do a shot on target. No, I don't really want to do a shot on target for a Coventry player. Maybe more fouls. Let me go a foul for Ben White, which is 1 point. I don't hate that. And then let me go a foul for... Let me go a foul. Let me just go a foul for Mosquera. There's little safe ones, but let me save the grid for now. There you go. So you can then edit that up until the deadline. Obviously, loads of people are already in my league as well. But that is it. On top of that, by the way, you also have daily puzzles that we can do. So I can show you one from I won't ruin today's in case you download it today. But you basically have puzzles where 3 are correct, 3 are wrong, sorry, and 13 are correct. And this one was players sent off in the 25-26 Premier League season. We're adding stuff constantly, and there are loads of cool games we're coming up with. So there it is. There's picks. It's completely free, anti-gambling. We highly recommend it. And yeah, definitely enter your grids tonight for the Arsenal Coventry game. It would support me a lot. And I will shut up now about that. If I purchase picks, will you answer my super chat? Maybe. Well, I don't know where your super chat was. I thought I got them all, mate. Bruno's Fernand says, "Hey Ross, good luck this season. I made a daily FPL puzzle called FPL Hindsight. Think Wordle meets 38 and 0. Would love to hear what you think of it. Love club and sport picks, by the way. Can you email it to me, mate? FPLraptor@gmail.com. Bruno's Fernands. Email it to me. I'd be very interested to see it. Obviously, as someone that's doing that kind of thing now anyway, like games and whatnot. What else was I going to say? GeoRaptor time. Yeah, I've not played GeoGuessr in 3 or 4 months. I've just been too busy. I've not been at it. Maybe it'll make a return. In all my spare time, I've been golfing. You know. Right, Arsenal lineups. Arsenal are the worst team. No, not really. They're pretty good, sadly. I really wish they weren't. It would really be nice if Arsenal weren't great, but they are. So that's okay. Frustratingly so. Have you ever played pickleball? No, I've played paddle, but not pickleball. Oh, here we go. Nice. Oh, I said time available. Is Bruno actually in the squad, actually? Let me discard that. He is out, okay. Arsenal. I don't even know. This is live footage of me trying to work out what I want to tweet. Every main FPL asset starts for Arsenal. There we go. That probably makes more sense. And then let's have a look at Coventry. Oh, Coventry. Oh, God, that's trippy. Awoni's on the bench. Okay. Okay. Awoni on the bench. Sims starts. All first choice defenders also start. Cool. I mean, really then, nothing surprising from either of the teams, I don't think, anyway, as far as I can tell. Tweeting is so complicated. It really is. It really is. What's the Picks League code? So for my grid, it's just a featured league. So when you get on, it will just be a featured one here. You've got mine, Harry's, and Oscar's, and then you just build the grid that way. There's also Picks Plus. If you become a Picks Plus member as a featured league. But otherwise, you can create your own leagues if you want to. That needs to be changed. That shouldn't be like that. I'll work on that because that's unfair because people have only downloaded it. Is there an Android version of your app? There will be in about a few weeks to a month, hopefully. At the moment, though, you can play the web app. I know people don't love using websites, but it honestly works exactly like the app, so you're not losing out at all. Have you forgotten about GeoGuessr, Ross? I'm not forgotten about it. I'm just too busy. Just too busy. You have been golfing. When did you become an old rich lad? I know. I feel like an old rich man. And my back hurts as well, so I feel even older. Are Liverpool top of your ticker for the first 5? It's not set in order, so no. I don't know if they're top of the ticker. Did you vibe code this app? I didn't code it. So we've got 3 founders in our team. It's myself as the CMO, so I deal with the marketing, obviously, given my job. We've got the CEO, whose concept it was, and then we've got a CTO, a guy that basically built it and coded it. So I'm not really involved in the actual... Like, I give feedback as to what I want it to look like, but I didn't actually build the app. I don't have that skill level. Do you know how to get good at... You know how to get good at golfing? You want tips? I've had a few lessons. I'm feeling pretty good right now, to be fair. I've found something pretty decent. Yeah. You can do Prem predictions. Indeed. Indeed. Why did you change Sangare? I quite wanted Raya, Aya Maguire. Raya, Aya Maguire, and Fire. What is your league code for title race on picks? Yeah, that is a league code, actually. If you build a title in the next hour and 10 minutes, I think it is. Sorry, Home's down there on this. Yeah, you've got an hour and 10 minutes to predict the title. You go into title race and then join my league. I've only got 115 people in it, so you might win it, to be fair. So let me type out the code. 2KNWAE. 2KNWAE. That is my title race league code. So if you want to compete against me across the season in predicting the Premier League title, make sure to join that league. You basically just do that and then make sure you also make your extra predictions. Do I want to do Man City to win the FA Cup? Win the EFL Cup? I'm actually going to go Arsenal. I don't think Man United will. Will Haaland? I'm going to go like that. Lock it in. Done. There we go. That's my locked-in table. I did drop Villa slightly after seeing everyone leaving them, but yeah. Right, guys. I think I'm going to leave it there then. We've got the lineups. I've been streaming for almost 3 hours. Went even earlier than most people. It has been an absolute pleasure to be back. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you for downloading picks if you did. Thank you for downloading Club as well, which will be linked down below. Completely free to download both, and it very much helps. When does Club close? Is there a limit to how many players from each club? There is no limit to how many players from each club for Club, and it shuts just before the GW1 first game. So it will shut closer to... You'll still have like another 45 minutes odd to get your teams locked in. Yeah, anyway, thank you for the support. Love you all very much. Appreciate you. I'll see you Sunday for the first video of Game Week 2, and then we are in full steam ahead. So yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate you very much, and I will catch you soon. Bye, guys.